toda la noche, no nos queda mucho tiempo más. No quiero perder lo que queda. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yeah. No quiero perder lo que queda. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más resuena por la pared, creando una canción. No quiero perder el ritmo. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más allá. Crucemos el número en solo un trueno de horizontes. Seremos miles. Crecemos en número en solo un trueno de horizontes. Seremos miles. Más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más
just follow your trail, and I'm losing your mind, and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, 'cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. change, it's evolution. Once you shake the ground, you feel it moving with the revolution. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for.
Oh, what is going off here? It's like the thing's not moving, I don't get why. Properties. What do you think? I think I've sorted that one. Evening then, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. Apologies about the slight delay there. OBS had decided to change my output so that you guys couldn't hear us here in the commentary box. Hopefully, though, you can now. And you can all hear what me and Andy are saying. I'm Matthew Duffin, and round 19 and 20 here at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. Delighted to be joined in the commentary box by my co-commentator and colleague, Andy. Andy, evening.
Good evening, Matt. It's back good to be here at Bathurst. We're always in for a treat at Mount Panorama, so looking forward to much of the same. But penultimate round of the season, still plenty left on the line, so looking forward to getting into some action. It looks like we just lost a driver there. I just saw us going from 11 down to 10, so I'm not quite sure who that is that's fallen victim to the internet gods here, but somebody's already having problems. But yeah, really looking forward to tonight, Matt. I'm very stoked for this one.
Indeed, so it's going to be a very interesting night round the mountains of Australia here. Something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on how these drivers are going to be. Early morning race here as well, 6 AM start here, very early morning start for all of us then. Yeah, we are down to 10 drivers. I'm just struggling to see who we've lost from the session, but hopefully we can get them back in 20-minute first qualifying for these drivers then over the mountain as the sun is rising here. Autumn time as well, so the guys, Andy, tonight face a different challenge. They've had the winter and spring conditions over the European the European and Asia, the European and North American section of the calendar so far, but now we've come to Australia, the southern hemisphere, autumn conditions, so track temperatures a bit different to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to be a bit more of a challenge for these guys, because obviously the autumn temperature, obviously with it being March, on this game, it's going to be sort of their equivalent of what is it, September, I think, kind of.
Yeah, kind of their thing, yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely going to be like heading towards fall for these guys. So yeah, it will be tricky, and obviously in the early morning, as you say, it's going to be that extra slippery. So they're definitely going to have to work hard to get those tyres up to temperature. Whether or not we're going to be seeing some soft or maybe even hard tyre runs around this track, though, with the obviously the top section of the track being quite favourable to the hard tyres, we're just going to have to wait and see on this one. But I'm sure that we're going to see quite a few drivers opt in for those harder tyres, as it looks like Rabbit Joe's the first to set a time, but he's on an outlap there on that one. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what sort of strategies these guys go for once we get underway.
Yeah, indeed, and weather not looking too great around the mountains here. Potential rain in the forecast, so we'll have to keep our eyes out for that and see if that does develop, or if that does come as well. As you see the two Mercedes-Benz moving out the way there of Rabbit Joe, who is starting his flying lap. Going to run you through the championship, which was wrapped up. Oh, Argent's actually parked over to one side. Yeah, he just gets back going. Just going to run you through the championship standings, and Monkey Boy, after last week, taking the championship. A great win for himself in the title to wrap up so early. He can now focus on just helping his teammate maybe achieve promotion to the Pro Series next year. Holty then in second place in his McLaren. What a drive he's had in his McLaren as well. And bar 100 points that Mazda scored in the Constructors' Championship early doors, Holty has pretty much done the work on his own in that Constructors' title. Rabbit Joe comes in third place, just ahead of his teammate by 15 points, Liam Gamer, who is the car, no, that Bozzy Boy, isn't it? It's that Bozzy Boy's P9, obviously Liam Gamer changed his PSN. Argent is in P5 with Smokey Devil in 6th. Them two as well up for the promotion fight here. Still have a lot to prove, as it's Smokey Devil, the car that we're actually missing. So it was Smokey Devil that we lost, as that bit of lag is Dean Wasocki just coming back into the session there. Hopefully we can get Smokey Devil back in. Hopefully he'll be back before the end of the qualifying session. He's still got 15 minutes to get in, so hopefully that one happens. NJ then is down in P8 with Stelsoff in 9. 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 7th for NJ. 8th is Stelsoff. And then in 9th place, probably the closest battle on the grid for the top 10. 9th, 10th, and 11th. Don, Daniel, Francis, and Aidan Bennett all on 125 points. No Don, no Aidan Bennett, as we have lost another driver again here. Someone's come in, Dean's come in, and we've lost. Someone else has dropped out at the moment. I can't see.
Seems to be a lot of conflicting networks right now for whatever reason.
I'm wondering if we may
have
to just do a normal lobby. I've not had any message through from anybody, but can't quite see. We've lost neither.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, we did have 11 when D joined. After Aidan Bennett and his DJ Phil, who's also in that top 10 fight. There's no DJ Phil on that list, I've just noticed. DJ Phil not on that list. He was there a moment ago as well. So, interesting one. DJ Phil in this fight as well with Dean Wasocki. Smithy then nearing 100 points. Alfie and Cam bringing up the rear, as we've got DJ Phil back in the session. So DJ Phil is back with us. Hopefully we can get Smokey Devil back in as well. And we've got Smokey Devil in. So there we go. 12 of the 16 runners on the grid. So we've got everybody in. Brilliant. That's what we want to see here around the mountains. Constructors' Championship forever forward. Pretty much have one hand on the title. 141 points ahead of Iron Brew Racing B of Rabbit Joe and Liam Gamer, with Iron Brew C of Holty and Cam in 3rd. Bossman Motorsport of NJ and Smithy in 4th, with DL Motorsport of Don and Daniel in 5th. The defending champions MC Motorsport down in P6. How they have had a drop in performance since last season for the two yellow Lamborghinis. Obviously changed of driver for Aidan Bennett, in for Chris Welsh, or Welsh as we know him. But still a drop in performance by their team. A3D Printing of Alfie and Smokey Devil, second from last in 7th place. And Pepsi Motorsport can actually overtake them here with only one driver of A3D Printing on the grid tonight, at the moment anyway. Can we see Pepsi Motorsport of Dean Wasocki and DJ Phil climb above them two in the standings? Andy, car choice tonight. You've got a Mercedes, you've got a Lamborghini, a Porsche, as well as an Acura and a McLaren. What's your preference over this circuit?
For this circuit, I'd have to say the Lamborghini is probably a jack of all trades, but it's the one that can get the job done in most sections of the track. I know the Mercedes is definitely going to have an advantage coming down towards the chase, especially on that section between turns 1 and 2. It's going to be the car to beat. I reckon the Lamborghini's got a little bit of everything though. That top section it can handle reasonably well. I know the Acura is obviously going to have most pace through there, but it loses out so enormously in every other section of the track. I reckon the Lamborghini and McLarens are probably going to be the best cars in terms of pound for pound. But then again, it all depends on who's behind the wheel, doesn't it? At the end of the day, if you've got a solid driver behind the wheel, we could be seeing a Mercedes up there at the top. I reckon Holty tonight, though. It's got to be my pick, and this is before the times even come in. I've just got a funny feeling that Holty's going to be on it tonight, being in that McLaren. We know that it's a car that pretty much excels in generally, you know, in anything that you put it in. It's it doesn't. I can't say it's going to suffer too much around this track compared to maybe where the Mercedes would in the corners and where the Cura obviously would in pretty much every track on this game. You know, even on the downforce tracks. But yeah, I would say the McLaren. McLaren or the Lamborghini.
Interesting to see then. So the Lamborghini drivers of Stovsloth and Smithy on the track tonight could be in for a treat. So could Holty, Cam, Dean Wasocki and DJ Phil. We'll have to keep our eyes on what they can do. Also keep an eye on Daniel Francis and his Acura. But we can't discount the Porsche at the moment. Currently sat provisional pole on 209 dead for Rabbit Joe. Holty's done an outlap. Monkey Boy 8/10 off the back of him. So Rabbit Joe has done well to get an early lap in. And we're seeing 9 minutes into this session. I know a couple of drivers have had to join late. But into this session, 9 minutes in, there's only 3 times actually on the board at the moment. So the drivers really are struggling to get a lap on the board. That Bozzy Boy and Daniel Francis.
Isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a 2 minute, just short of a 2 minute 10 lap, just shy of that. So big long outlap and a big long lap, and you don't want to get it invalid neither, because then you've got all that work to do, as we see DJ Phil in the background losing the rear of the car and putting that one back in the pits. But for that Bozzy Boy and Daniel Francis and Holty then, outlaps for their times at the moment. And we're yet to see half the grid at the minute put a lap time in, but let's see what this guy can do. Holty, a real threat in that McLaren, and he has been all season. Unfortunately cannot get promoted due to no availability on Thursday nights because of work. So let's see then, the battle then for 3rd, 4th, the final promotion spots is really the key. And Holty here just to have some fun and see what he can do. But Andy, you know Mount Panorama, obviously. With you and the only G obviously must know Mount Panorama quite well over at Motive Racing. Are you a lover of the circuit?
It's one I've not really had a great deal of success around, I've got to admit. I raced it, I think, twice. Right. One time was in the GT3s at Motive, and back in the first season that we had GT3s before I started commentating it. And the other time that I've raced it competitively on Project Cars was in the touring cars, which I was fared slightly better. The GT3s I DNF'd in both races, so that was pretty horrid. Touring cars, I managed to come in 6th in the first race and 3rd in the second race. So, you know, I was certainly a lot better in the touring cars, but that's probably just down to the fact that the touring cars are
suit you a bit better.
Suit me a bit better, yeah. So I was able to kind of combat the my hatred of the circuit in a car that I actually quite like, it being the Renault Megane. So I got on okay in the touring cars, but it's not a track that I'm particularly good at. I do enjoy watching the action around it, though. It's quite unpredictable, being that it is such a long track, and you've got the top part of the circuit which can catch you out if you have the slightest little lapse of concentration, and you're gonna pay for it pretty much.
Oh, indeed you are. Holty then just puts in a pole lap time, just 35 thousandths quicker than Rabbit Joe. Argent's also done a decent lap time, respectable lap time, should I say. So is that Bozzy Boy, Daniel Francis as well. So lap time starting to come that look a bit respectable, and that Bozzy Boy looks like he's been in the wall as well. 8 minutes and 8.5 minutes left in session. Smoky Devil, DJ Phil, Dean and Smithy yet to do a time, and very tricky here for the guys. Obviously early morning, the sun's just starting to rise. It may start to appear over the mountain in the driver's eye line. It's going to be crucial here. That mountain section is going to be a difficult place to overtake tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure it will be, and it's going to be more about keeping out of the way. If somebody in front of you makes a mistake, it can actually be a bit of a challenge to move out of the way due to the narrow nature of the track, and also the fact that there is really only one line through this part of the circuit. So if somebody in front of you makes a mistake, it's a massive... it's Holty there gets into the barriers. But if somebody makes a mistake coming through that section of the track, then it's a massive compromise, having to go out of your way to then avoid them, and if you then mess it up, it's going to cause a big chain reaction. So everyone's going to be a bit cagey, and especially with full damage on, I reckon we're going to see people going pretty cautiously through the mountain section on for the opening few laps. Heavy fuel loads will definitely play a part, and if we have some rain to throw into the mix, then it is going to be an extremely challenging evening for these drivers.
Watch out for the kangaroos bouncing along the circuit you sometimes see in the real world. Unfortunately, we won't get that in the virtual world, so there's no chance the driver's bumping into a kangaroo or two out there today. But I watched, what was I watching the other day? I was watching the 12-hour Bathurst event last year before COVID and everything. Now, I remember the first time I'd ever watched it, and then just 3 kangaroos skipped across the track, and I was like, really? Seriously? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They had to get the safety car out for that one. It was very surreal. As Smokey Devil goes into the pits, everybody bar DJ Phil has set a lap time. Dean Wasaki 26 seconds off the back, Cam 17, Stelsloff 16, and Smithy 14 seconds. But them guys can all still improve. There's still time to improve here, as Holty is your pole sitter at the moment. Here is Argent 22, or Kieran Argent as we know him. He's got some work to do here to get into the top 3 if he's really going to push for promotion this year. Him and Smokey Devil really need to be podiums over what Rabbit Joe and that Bozzy Boy do, or that Bozzy Boy aka Liam Gamer, because they've really got to outscore them if they are to get podiums in if they are to get promoted, in this season. And Argent's not going to do it like that as he clips the wall on the mountain section. How much time did he lose there? I can't say he lost a great amount, but he's got that McLaren in front of him of Cam. Cam doing a decent job. So far, so good. Evening to Daniel Francis, Rabbit Joe, that Bozzy Boy in the chat. Evening to Welshie. Because he's not there, I presume that's in relation to what we're saying about MC Motorsport. Evening to Jamie Brazier as well, and Bethany Duffin. Tickets booked for Snetterton in June, so exciting times for that as Rabbit Joe starts another lap. Evening to the 15 people watching. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Comment in the chat as well.
Oh, I think my mic's dropped on the floor there.
Nope, sorry. I caught the off switch.
Big warm welcome to everybody watching here on the Simplay Motorsport channel. Drop a like on the video if you're watching for the first time. Subscribe. Go to facebook.com/Simplay Motorsport if you want to get involved in the action for next season.
Indeed, then. 5.5 minutes remaining, Andy. Everybody bar DJ Phil has a lap time in at the minute, and that Porsche not too far off the pole here so far. It's just got to find that little bit more if he wants to take pole away from Holty.
Oh, he gets a bit of a twitch there, but yeah. Absolutely, he's not got much to find, but a 300th of a second is so close. When you consider how enormous this track is, I mean, it's on over a 2-minute lap in the GT3s. It's more of a Formula 1 sort of length of circuit. Obviously, not really the nature of a Formula 1 track, being the undulation are one big factor. But yeah, for sure, there's not much at all separating these two at the moment. Holty's the only man to dip under the 209s, which is no mean feat. And when you consider the full damage as well, drivers are not going to be going as hammer and tongs as they would be without that. So that was my nan sneezing. Believe it or not, that was my nan sneezing.
Wow, DJ Phil and Dean have both improved. DJ Phil up to P8. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, DJ Phil is one of those guys who we always can bank on being consistent, can't we? It's always, as I say that, he goes into the wall and gives himself a hefty whack on the front left bumper.
I know what you're saying though. He's always there.
Whether it's the rear. Oh,
yeah,
and
that's
the front
not
left again.
Monkey Boy must have had a bit of squeaky bum time as he was going past there, and I get what you mean about DJ Phil. He's always there into whether it's Motive, Simplay, it doesn't matter the event. DJ Phil is always eager to get on that track and get going, and it's nice to see him doing so well tonight. It's currently P8, and in that battle for that midfield pack, he's just behind Daniel Francis. But with him and Dean, with Don and Aiden, sorry, not here tonight, it doesn't seem. Them two could really gain some points over that midfield battle for that top 10 place. Obviously, DJ Phil finding the grid a bit tougher this year than last year. A few quicker guys in it, and a few guys getting a bit better in the off-season. So DJ Phil not getting the podiums he got last year, but nonetheless is still plugging away.
Rabbit Joe's got even closer to Holty's time there, 7,000ths of a second. Currently separating these two at the top of the leaderboard, so it looks like the man in the Porsche was the only other driver to get into the 208s. These two are so close right now. You wouldn't want to wager on either of these guys taking. Oh, Rabbit Joe gets sideways there. Into the barrier, gets a big bit of tyre smoke. He's brought into the pits. So Holty looking like he's the man currently with the ascendancy. Rabbit Joe should get another chance to get in and out of that pit garage, but Holty is the one who seems to have, well, I wouldn't want to say a slight advantage. 7,000 for the second. It's just a bit of lottery, really, isn't it? To be honest, they've probably driven more identical laps. Yeah. Just that Holty is, I don't know.
just that nose in front of Rabbit Joe's Porsche, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty much. You can't put anything between them, can you? They're basically on the same level.
Maybe they are indeed. 2 minutes 30 remaining in this one then, and Cam and Smithy then, who's not done better than a 2:20 here. Cam he's not out. Smithy's not out yet, so I don't think they're going to come out for a final run. Rabbit Joe, he looks like he's not going to get out for a final run either. Oh no, he's out the pits. No, he was out the pits.
Round, I reckon. He'll just make it round.
He's got to pretty much do 2 hot laps here. 1 mistake for Rabbit Joe, and he may just miss out on the end. That Buzzy Boy and Argent, Smoky Devil's close to the back of Argent. 6/10 is the gap between him and Kieran Argent. Then for P5 and 6 on the track. And Smithy, Selfsoft and Cam all in the pits will not get another run in here. Holty as well has backed out. He's coming out the pits, but he's not going to get another run in. So
maybe he's making a little adjustment to the car, and he's just testing to see how it handles. But he's only going to get maybe 1 outlap to do so.
Yeah, potentially. Daniel Francis out the final corner, get a bit of a wiggle on, you saw on the left hand side there. Any improvement for him as he crosses the line? No improvement there for him. He's not far off the back. The Acura not looking too bad at the minute. In P7, 4.3 off the pace. There's DJ Phil here. Where's he? He's coming down. That's the chase, isn't it, they call it?
Chase, yeah. Coming up towards the final chicane. And let's see what DJ Phil can do. Can he put himself on the top? Oh, no, he's not. No. He's got onto the grass a little bit there, pushing a little bit too hard. DJ Phil, we know he's a racer on the dual shock. He does race on a controller, not the sim rig, so it's a little bit more difficult, obviously, when you've got a joystick rather than a full-on steering wheel to dictate the direction of the car. But
he'll get another run in, though, Andy.
Yeah, he will. He should get another chance.
Oh, I tell you, he's not going to get another chance. Argent has gone into the pit, so he's not going to improve on his P5. He's done for the session. Monkey Boy rounds the final corner. Still soft. Maybe guys are just coming out the pits to try a bit of a race trim as Smoky Devil and Monkey Boy cross the line. Can Monkey Boy improve? No improvement from him. Smoky Devil, any improvement? Only needs 6/10. Oh, he improves, and he's got 1 shot now to only find 3/10 of a second over Kieran Argent. Can Smoky Devil get that time done as he goes a bit wide on the exit to the corner? Don't know if the car leaving the pits put him off a little bit, but at the minute, I think that Buzzy Boy's improved as well, hasn't he? He wasn't 1.2 behind a minute ago. He's now only 1.2 off the pole laps. Still a way to go as he's coming to Dano section, so Liam's not going to get another lap in here, and neither is, that's Holty in front. But as we know, Holty on an out lap, as he pulls over to the side, and he's going to let that Buzzy Boy through. A bit of a flash of lights to say thank you from Liam Gamer.
I wonder what more Liam's got in the locker here, because 1.2 seconds around this track isn't that much, especially if you haven't really had an opportunity to do a lot of practice. We don't know whether or not that fastest time involved a mistake, maybe a slip up or two. So maybe that Buzzy Boy could be on for possibly even a front row start here. Maybe he might be able to get himself on pole position. See what he can do as he comes under the Madness Bridge up towards the final corner. And he's not taking as wide of an entry as you can into that corner, staying well away from those white lines. A very cautious run coming through the final corner for Liam. Let's see what he can do as he crosses over the line, and he can't improve. He stays P4 for now. Smoky Devil and Daniel Francis, the only 2 drivers left on a lap time.
Yeah, Daniel looks like he had heavy damage on the back of that Acura. That was, he's well off there. A lot of bodywork missing on that Acura. Kieran Argent in the chat's just put wait with 3 dots after it. Wait. I know what he's on about. He's on about for the pictures for the social media after. He's told me earlier, Kieran, tonight, so I know to wait before we press to the next screen. But yeah, Smoky Devil, the only man left on a flying lap, we do believe, as everybody else has pulled it into the pits. Then it is just Smoky Devil left on a lap, and 3/10 Andy needs to find to go above Kieran. And in that race for that final promotion spot, Smoky Devil, if he takes that place from Kieran, doing everything right, but he needs to be beating Joe and Liam in the races. But P6, kind of mid-pack. Do you want to be starting mid-pack with the as tight as Bathurst is? Round the final corner he goes. Quite a quick final corner compared to what we saw that Buzzy Boy do a minute ago. And he's going to cross the line.
He does move up.
Know. Did he?
He definitely moved up. Yeah, he moved up by the P5 and P6.
Oh no, he did. Yeah. P5, so improved by near enough a second, 9/10 on that final lap. Did Smoky Devil?
I just saw it on the screen. It was there for a split second. I just saw it on the screen.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed, because I missed that one. Holty then takes pole by 7/1000 of a second. What a lap from him. And Rabbit Joe take nothing away from them two then, as they've got brilliant runs there. Monkey Boy P3 with that Buzzy Boy P4, aka Liam Gamer. Smoky Devil ends up getting P5 in the end, with Argent in 6th place. Daniel Francis sits in P7 with DJ Phil in 8th. Dean Wasaki will start 9th, 4 seconds off the back of his teammate Not where he would be wanting to qualify, but obviously Dean, I know, learning the wheel, hard track to get used to the wheel on. Smithy down in P10, not a bad lap time for him. I know he's struggled all season with Stelsoft down in P11, Cam in P12, then that rounds off the grid. Evening to Monkey Boy in the chat, Daniel Francis as well. Got tickets booked for Silverstone, looking forward to that one. Evening to DJ Phil as well in the chat, go, 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 says DJ Phil in honour of the late, great Murray Walker, who me and Andy will try and emulate as best we can, whether it's on Simplay or on Motive Racing. We'll try our very best to honour the great man. And Kieran,
a lot of the way that I go about commentating is,
yeah,
you know, you're trying to copy Murray Walker. So
same here. That is, just to let people know, Holty's 5th pole position of the season. So good little stat for him. He's only 1 pole position behind Monkey Boy now, so with 3 rounds to go, can he get with 4 rounds to go, this one and 3 more qualifying sessions left, can he nick the pole position, most pole positions in a season? Fastest lap, he needs all 4 in the next 4 races, as Monkey Boy is 9-5 on that one. Interesting one here. Andy, are you sticking with Holty for the race win?
I think so, yeah. Holty for me, it just seems like he's got that upper hand over Rabbit Joe, and as long as he can stay ahead of him coming up the run towards turn 2, he should have the ascendancy, because I know that Rabbit Joe's going to have a slight speed advantage coming up towards the turn 2. I reckon a Porsche is slightly quicker than the McLaren.
Yeah.
But I think he should have control of the car, especially in the top part, the mountain top. That should be where he's really strong. So my money's on Holty. I know Rabbit Joe's going to be strong, and Mercedes and Monkey Boy will be quick off the start. And if he leads into turn 2, that could be a whole different ball game. It could be a cat and mouse game for the rest of the race. But Holty's my man. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I think it's hard to look away from Holty, but it's Bathurst. Anything can happen, I suppose, and we've got 14 laps to find out what can happen. What advice would you give to the drivers on the opening couple of laps? Just patience, wait, let's see what happens, let the race flow, don't go for anything silly early doors. Is that what you'd say to them?
I would say so, yeah, especially with the nature of this track being that it is so tricky. It's almost like a street circuit at the top, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
it really is.
So yeah, it's got like one sector which is a street circuit. So yeah, be careful, don't be too impatient.
As the lights are on then, and we're green here, it's go here at Bathurst for round 19 of the season. A good start from a few at the back. Smithy already pulled out from DJ Phil, and Rabbit Joe got off the line like lightning, gives Holty plenty of room up the inside, and Holty is trying to fight that one back. That Bozzy Boy got past a Mercedes-Benz of Monkey Boy. Then I saw a car or two off in the background. That's Dean and Cam, who were already off in the background. But Monkey Boy here, now staring at the back of Liam Gamer. Smokey Devil managed to stay in front of Kieran Argent. Daniel Francis is down in P7, although that's where he qualified. So not a bad start for him as we all come into turn 2. How cautious is everybody going to be? Holty's through, so is Rabbit Joe, so is Liam, Monkey Boy, Smokey Devil. Oh, Smokey Devil's had a bit of a moment. Yeah, a bit of a slide.
And also,
that's Smithy.
As well.
Smithy and DJ Phil.
DJ Phil, yeah.
Oh, what a shame. It just looked like
carnage there. Rabbit Joe's got ahead of Holty up into P1 though, Matt, as well. Holty did a great job of weathering the storm coming through the first part of the lap, but he's clearly made a little mistake which Rabbit Joe's capitalised on, and that Bozzy Boy also gaining a place off the line. Monkey Boy down to 4th. Not the start he would have wanted, but absolute disaster there for Smokey Devil and also Dean Wisocki and Smithy. But, Dean Wisocki made a couple of races. It was Smithy and DJ Phil that had the problems, but Smokey Devil looks to have got away with it.
We've actually lost a driver from the... we've lost Cam from the first race of the night, so nothing for Cam in this one, unfortunately, then. So we'll have to see what happens for the rest of this race. Down to 11 runners here. Daniel Francis up to P5. Oh, Rabbit Joe just getting that rear end out a little bit there, and Holty's trying to pressure him. Now, this will be where we see what the Porsche can do over the McLaren down the back straight here. This is going to be so crucial as to whether the speed difference is going in the way of the Porsche or the McLaren. Looks like the Porsche is doing just enough to pull away from that McLaren here, Andy, that Liam's trying to gain on Holty, but Rabbit Joe's pulling away from him on the back straight to the chase.
Yeah, it looks like the Porsche's got so much more speed than the McLaren, and I thought to myself, if Holty can stay in front of Rabbit Joe and just keep a reasonable gap to him, then he'll have the advantage for the rest of the race. But it's only taken 1 lap for Rabbit Joe to make the most of that straight line speed advantage. It wasn't even down a straight that he got in. It was actually through turn 3, coming through that double left. Turns 3 and 4, so clearly Rabbit Joe has just got this car hooked up, has warmed his tyres up pretty nicely, and got it into the sweet spot on the first lap. There is that Bozzy Boy sat third, Monkey Boy, Daniel Francis in 5th currently, Smoky Devil running just ahead of Kieran Argent. Smoky Devil seems to have got away without too much damage on that Porsche after that whack with the wall coming out of turn 2 for lap 1. There's Argent. Stelzlo's currently running in 8th place with Dean Musocki. The DJ Phil's coming into the pits at the end of the first lap. Clearly some quite substantial damage on that McLaren, and Smithy as that, he's had a mare. Look at him, he's got out of shape coming out onto the back straight, and that is Smithy. I think his race is all but over now, Matt.
All but over. He looks like he's got some bad damage on that car, and poor Smithy then he's Holty there, just clipping the wall there as he's bouncing up the first part of the mountain. As we go uphill, that Bozzy boy now will be looking at that, and although he's taking his time, surely he's got to apply a bit of pressure to Holty, who again there, Andy, did you see that one just clip the wall again? So Holty just pushing the limits and just starting to lose time to Rabbit Joe, just struggling a bit here or there is Holty. So any more mistakes like that, and surely that Bozzy boy will be on the back to pounce on him. Daniel Francis, hats off to him. He's kind of in no man's land here as Argent bashes into the wall as he's got past Stelzloff as Argent. We've lost another driver from the race. We've lost Smithy from the race, so we are down to 10 runners now. What a shame. But nonetheless, these 10 drivers have got to keep going all the way.
Yeah, Dean's Rosocki's one man who's really struggling right now, down in 9th place. He's dropping hand over fist to the rest of the package. He's clearly got some quite hefty damage on the front of that car. You can see that bumper. He's wiggling around a little bit, so it's not gone the way that he would have wanted it to tonight. But it's currently Rabbit Joe pulled out a bit of a gap to Holty at the front, 1.2 seconds. Looks like he's got the better of him right now. So Holty, my pick for this race, clearly not quite on the level of the race leader.
Yeah, Rabbit Joe clearly hand and fist are better than the rest at the moment. We're not seeing that pace from the Mercedes down the straight, although he has caught that Bozzy boy, Liam Gamer, into the chicane then. Liam maybe a bit cautious through there as Monkey Boy now gains on the back of him. Championship done, so he's not going to do anything silly for the championship, but Liam Gamer here doing exactly what he needs to do in defending. He's got a bit deep into the corner and bounced off the curb, and his Monkey Boy looking at a move here then up the inside. He's got a bit of a run, but no, he's tucked back in.
Monkey Boy wasn't able to capitalise because he got him at the exact wrong point. At the point where he wanted to be getting that pulling out, it was pretty much Liam was right in front of him, so he had to sort of get off the throttle a little bit. He lost all of his momentum coming out onto the pit straight, so Liam was massively compromised out of the corner. But Monkey Boy not in a position where he could do anything about it. But this time he has got a run. But this time also it looks like Liam's just going to edge ahead coming into the braking zone. He's clearly got that Porsche very nicely set up around this track. It's not going to be any pushover for Monkey Boy.
It's not, is he? He looks like he's got it where he wants to, and he's defending very well on the inside of the corners as Daniel Francis still P5 from Kieran Argent. Holtier has got to start to get into a rhythm over this mountain section. The trouble is, if the fastest pace is only 7 tenths between Rabbit Joe and Holty, how does Holty pull back 3 seconds? Because he's got a lot of work to do with 7 tenths. Look at the Porsche. It looks a lot better over the mountain section than the Mercedes here as Liam Gamer has gapped Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy very, very patient there, and you hear Liam's car as well. Patient round the bend and then back on the power. And Liam's gapping Monkey Boy here. In fact, he looks like he's gaining on. Is that Holty? Yeah, in front.
I'm not sure Holty's made a mistake because he has fallen off the back of Rabbit Joe.
Yeah.
The gap was around 1.2. It's now up at 3.4. So he's definitely got his McLaren into the barriers at some point. I believe looks like it must be side work damage. In fact, you can see there a little scrape on the right hand side of the car. So he's clearly had a bit of a brush with the wall. Hopefully nothing too major because obviously if it's bodywork then it's not going to really account for too much.
No, it's not.
It's certainly going to be affecting him, and it would have lost him time for the race leader. As we see Liam is in the slipstream, and he's definitely going to have a pace advantage in the Porsche over the McLaren.
Indeed,
he has. He's going to go for a move coming into the chase.
I just want to say, Andy, as well, Liam Gamer has really dropped Monkey Boy. Did Monkey Boy have a problem over the mountain section as they get turned into the chicane? Oh, Liam just hit that curb a bit hard. Has he managed to keep it together? He's made a mistake, but he's managed to hold on and not lose out big time there. So Liam Gamer managing to keep it on track, just maybe pressuring Holty a bit too hard there. End of lap 3, so the pit window was just opened, with it being one of the shorter races of the season. I say shorter in terms of lap time, still a half-an-hour race for these guys. Dean Wasocki has been in the pits and he's now 22 seconds off the back of his teammate. Let's see what he can do for the rest of this race. It is another top 10 for Dean and points that he'll want to gather. Liam just looks a bit cautious for me around turn 1, and here goes Monkey Boy again. He's going to have that chance of a run, but he's on the outside going into turn 2. But that Mercedes, if it's got the power, can it get the move done? Daniel Francis into the pits at the end of lap 3.
Oh, Liam's going to try and Monkey Boy's going to try and squeeze Liam to the inside, and it looks like he keeps onto the position by the narrowest of margins there. He was just trying to force Liam's hand into backing out of that, because with the line that Liam would have had to take coming to the corner, it would have either meant that he had to back out or that he was going to take Monkey Boy out. So Monkey Boy kind of putting Liam in a difficult position there, where he's just going to have to say, you know what, I'll live to fight another day rather than take us both out of the race. So Monkey Boy there, a very solid defence, clever at driving from Monkey Boy. He knew exactly where to put his car, and he knew what Liam would do in that situation. So you've got to have a good understanding of what drivers around you are going to do when in those situations. And Monkey Boy has clearly got this to a T. He always, as I say that, he goes wide down onto the gravel and he just keeps onto it. I know how easy it is to understand.
Oh, there's Holty!
Whoa,
Holty's made a mistake coming through the chicane then, and he's really hit the wall hard, and he gets that car going backwards now. He's struggling to get that pointed in the right direction here.
Yeah, he's lost his rear end spoiler.
Yeah, he's got to wait for Kieran Argent to come past as well, so that'll be big damage on the rear for Holty, so he's got to get onto the pit, so he's struggling even more. Monkey Boy promoted now into P2, and that Bozzy Boy now back up into P3, and Monkey Boy had just made the mistake the moment before, so Liam Gamer really did well there to make sure they didn't collide with Monkey Boy or Holty as they was bouncing off the walls and through the gravel. But that Bozzy Boy has got to keep his head on here if he's wanting to get out back past Monkey Boy here. He's got to just be a bit more aggressive through the corners. I feel that he's just taking them too cautiously at the moment, Andy, and we saw it in qualifying as well. Just very cautious through that final corner, and for me, Liam Gamer, or that Bozzy Boy as he's changed his name to now, has just got to start to apply a bit more pressure than let the champion of the Pro-Am Season 2 pull away.
Exactly, yeah, he needs to throw some of that caution to the wind. He needs to just let the tide turn and do its thing. But always roll the dice, as I say. But yeah, he's lost a couple of seconds to Monkey Boy on that lap, and Monkey Boy has either responded to the pressure, or Liam has just started to drop off. But we see there, last lap, Monkey Boy with up to a 2-minute 10.6. He's now quicker than the race leader, so maybe Monkey Boy hasn't done a whole load of preparation for this race, and he's kind of learning on the job.
He did a 2-minute 10. Don't forget he was in the gravel trap last lap as well, so he did really well to get that kind of lap time in. Yeah,
I'm wondering if Monkey Boy is maybe learning as he's racing here, because he seems to be improving lap after lap after lap. I can tell a driver who hasn't done a whole load of practice, because they're usually not too quick in quali, and then the start of the race is a little bit sketchy, but now he's really getting the time in, and he's clearly putting away from Liam. So I reckon that Monkey Boy hasn't really done his homework a whole lot, but now he's starting to get into a rhythm. Whether or not Rabbit Joe's going to see that and start responding, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, let's see if the gap comes down, and how quick it comes down as well.
Yeah, as he sees that delta coming down, it's going to cause a response out of Rabbit Joe, which who knows what will happen then. You know, it could be one of either two of them to drop the car, lose it into the barriers, or hopefully what we're going to see is an interesting battle between both of them. But Rabbit Joe's had it pretty much his own way since the start of this race. Yeah, now depends on what Monkey Boy's got up his locker.
Now, that's DJ Phil, who looks like he's got bad damage here, Andy, moving out the way of that Monkey Boy and that Bozzy Boy. Now, one thing I will say about Rabbit Joe, the last time he had a comfortable race lead like this was at Indy Road Course. Pit stop error put way to his race win, his first ever race win in sim racing, not just at Simplay, but in sim racing in general, and he had to sit and watch his teammate take a second race win of the season. So for Rabbit Joe, huge moment here for him to try and win this race, as DJ Phil is limping back to the pits. His teammates flew past him in his 26 seconds up the road, and you've got to feel sorry for DJ Phil. Like you said in qualifying, on the controller, and not the right track for a controller to try and get round. It is very tight and twisty. What does Rabbit Joe do? Well, a 2-minute 11.6. We didn't answer back to Monkey Boy's 2-minute 10 last time around, and Monkey Boy 2:11.5. So in all fairness, Monkey Boy actually lost a bit of time. He gained a 10th, should I say, but lost a lot compared to the lap before. Liam Gamer in the 2-minute 11 as well. So the front three here, lapping around a similar pace. They've got 16 seconds back to Argent down in P4. And Stealth Sloth.
A little bit of a league of their own as well. Smokey and Holty do appear to be quite close on the track. Holty is closing the gap to Smokey. This is the P6. I mean, Holty should really be in that group of course, shouldn't he? He obviously had that contact with the wall. Had to make an impromptu pit stop. Will that count as his pit stop?
Yeah, well, the pit window was lap 3, so he actually pitted at the end of lap 4, so he's actually done his mandatory pit stop. So Holty is done. And unless it's significant damage which is altering the way the car's driving here, that's the only way you're allowed to pit before the mandatory pit stop, if it's damage that is significant to the car. So if you end up with suspension damage and you're crabbing that much, you can actually pit before the mandatory pit stop window, and it will count, obviously, because you'll lose more time in the pit stops repairing it. But for Holty, he's got to get back on pace here. The leader's still have to pit. That's Stealth Sloth coming in. He doesn't look like he's got a rear spoiler either, Andy, there as he enters the pit lane. So big damage for him on the back at the end of lap 5. He comes in. DJ Phil's in as well, a lap down. So a lot of cars losing the rear spoiler, and this track biting where it hurts. The front four, the only guys who I haven't seen in the pits. Everybody else is so far pitted, and we're near enough halfway through this race. That is Daniel Francis, who'll gain an extra position on Stove Slough, and he could be in the pits for some time here.
He could, yeah. It could be a pretty long stretch in the pits for him, but it's currently this man here, Rabbit Joe, who's got the ascendancy here in this race. He's just doing things his way out front, and he's lapping consistently in the 2:11. Doesn't need to push that hard. If Monkey Boy is closing that gap, it's probably just down to Rabbit Joe not really needing to go 100%. You know what I mean? When you've got the lead of the race, you don't have to extend yourself. You don't have to push beyond your means or limits. It's just a case of just getting the car around, doing what you got to do. And 2:11 dead last time from Rabbit Joe. Let's see what Monkey Boy is doing. Is he closing that gap? No. 2 tenths slower that last time around. That Bozzy Boy dropped at the back of Monkey Boy as well. So Rabbit Joe at the moment looks like he's very much got this one under control. But we're only 6 laps into this 14-lap race, so anything can happen. But unfortunately, a lot of drivers tonight really are coming under, as you said, just lots of mistakes, and the walls around this part of the track, especially this mountain section, are never too far away. And
the thing is, I go back to what you said just a moment ago for Rabbit Joe leading the race. Does he need to make these mistakes? Does he need to risk his race when he knows the track is very tricky and very tight, as Liam Gamer pits at the end of lap 6? So that Bozzy Boy into the pits. No, is it Argent into the pits? No, it's Argent into the pits, not that Bozzy Boy, sorry. Read that screen run. It's Argent into the pits at the end of lap 6. And why is he not? Oh, he may be repairing damage or changing tyres. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Dean Wasaki. And I do believe Stove Slough was caught up in that one as well. Luckily, Rabbit Joe's been able to get through, but Stove Slough, who just pitted to repair his rear wing, has now lost his rear wing once again. He's probably just better off parking it there to let the back markers through, because it's so tight afterwards. He does just that. That's a wise decision. Here comes that Bozzy Boy as well. Luckily then, the leaders didn't get caught up in that too much. I think Joe may have lost a bit of time, but nothing hand over fist here.
I was going to say, if he's going to park it there, it'd need the handbrake, because that's a bit of a steep incline, isn't it? But
I wouldn't like to cycle up this circuit, that's for sure.
Oh God, no, I'd like to go down it, but getting up it, another story. Maybe if I could just jump in the back of a van or something, take the bike up there and then cycle on the way down, that would be alright.
So Dean and Stove Slough here, big damage to both cars. Stove Slough just bouncing off the walls, he can't keep it in a straight line. Dean Wasaki as well, struggling to keep it in a straight line. Look at these two, Lamborghini and McLaren, they are struggling. They're not warming the tyres up, ladies and gentlemen. These are struggling with that much damage. They must have had a collision, Andy, because they looked like they was together, and Stove Slough had just come out the pits, so Dean would have been on the back of him. But now he's got to do it all again in the pits once more, and it's not the easiest of pit entries here. It's like a left, right, left sort of chicane into the pits as well. So for these two, another pit stop in this race. Rabbit Joe, though, got a 4-second lead here as DJ Phil moves out the way and lets the race leader through nice and easy. Good stuff from DJ Phil. And he's got chance here now as DJ Phil, if Dean and Stove Slough have to pit again, to get back up a couple more places in this standings. Bit of a quiet one tonight, only 10 drivers on the track, and all of them a bit spread out here. Argent's made his stop, he's come out just ahead of Smoky Devil, so what can he do? Holty not far off the back of this battle as well. He's 6 seconds behind these two as Kieran on the downhill section has Smoky Devil behind him. Dean into the pits.
Seen Holty has had to clear Dean and Daniel over the course of this race. He is now bearing down on these two who are fighting it out a little bit. They're obviously slowing each other down. It might make his job, it could either make it easier or it could make it 10 times harder. It depends on whether or not they're still battling when he gets to them. But yeah, currently Smoky still with quite a blitzed out windscreen. We're going to switch to the trackside view actually, because we're not going to see a whole lot of what's going on from in there. But yeah, Kieran Argent's doing a good job of keeping Smoky at bay. Obviously Kieran had to come into the pits last lap, presumably for a bit of damage as well, because it was a 2:58 lap time for Kieran.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more of a stretch in the pits than you would have expected for just a normal average everyday pit stop. So yeah, clearly something has gone.
Oh, Kieran's lost it!
Oh no! I was going to say something had gone catastrophically wrong for him, Matt, and something has gone even more wrong for him. He's lost it coming out of turn 1. Holty's going to pick up that P5, and Smoky Devil's up into 4th, but Smoky is now wide open to Holty. Holty might find himself in a little bit more of a comfort zone now in making his way back through.
Indeed he might. Top 6 don't qualify for the next race because 12 started this one, but for Kieran Argent there, he had plenty of space to Smokey Devil, didn't have to defend too hard and just lost it getting on the power too early coming through turn 1. The Mercedes-Benz went round. He's down to P6 now, is Argent. So in terms of his promotion chances, that is not going to help him. Monkey Boy's within 3.7 seconds of Rabbit Joe. Look, that Bozzy Boy's really dropped off the back of Monkey Boy as well, so maybe a bit of a bad lap for that Bozzy Boy this time around. But for Dean and Stovsoft, they're still in the pits. This could really allow DJ Phil to get inside the top 8. Stovsoft is now away, and yeah, there is DJ Phil, in fact, actually coming out the final corner. So this is the chance that DJ Phil needed. Is it to get past them both? Or is he a lap down on them both? No, he's getting past them. So he's past Dean. Can he get past Stovsoft? Should be up to racing speed before the yellow Lamborghini. They're racing on the way out.
Yeah, it looks like DJ Phil is just going to edge ahead, but his stuff's going to have the advantage come out towards the corner. Once he's up to full speed, he's going to try and use that side draft. The Lamborghini has got more straight line speed than the McLaren. He's going to try and look to the outside of turn 2 if he can. DJ Phil's surely going to go try and go a little on the brakes. No, in the end, he pretty much takes that one line down, does DJ Phil. Still able to continue on his way, and it looks like DJ Phil not really willing to engage too much in that little exchange.
Now the drivers have got to get to lap 9 to score points in this race as well. So crucial that they keep going and try and make the cars get there if they can. But DJ Phil there tried his damnedest to get ahead of Stovsoft, but in the end Stovsoft managed to outbrake him and is now started to pull away using that Lamborghini speed that you said the Lamborghini would be quite good around here, using its speed to get away from the McLaren. Dean Wasaki still in the pits. He's having a torrid first race. Rabbit Joe, though, is being caught by Monkey Boy. Don't forget the leaders still to pit. Joe and Liam both still have to pit here. And they're a team, so they can't pit on the same lap as well on the online championship feature. So it'll be interesting to see when these two do pit. But at the moment, the Porsche for Rabbit Joe is having it his own way so far. That Bozzy Boy still got work to do, but I think these are the cleanest 3 cars on the circuit. No scrapes, no bumps, no windows broken, no bumpers hanging off. It looks like they're all... Oh, as we say that, Joe has actually got a few scrapes on the side of the car.
He's got a couple of scratches, yeah. It definitely looks like he's parked his car in a dodgy area, but he's certainly not... yeah, I'm joking. But obviously he's not... yeah, he's clearly going quite well right now, but Funky Boy obviously coming into the pits as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like everyone's pulling the trigger. Is Liam about to do the same? I think.
Well, Liam can't pit, can he? Because his teammate's in the pit, so he can't pit with Rabbit Joe in the pits at the moment. So Liam's got to do an extra lap. Joe really in and out, splash and dash. That was quick. Joe in and job done. Liam then will inherit this race lead for the time being. What is happening with Monkey Boy's pit stop? He won't want a long one here. If Liam can get a good out lap, does he answer to Monkey Boy on the next lap and maybe try and overcut him? Monkey Boy here. What is happening? Bit of damage? Tyre change maybe?
Yeah, I wonder maybe it could be.
I know
he definitely is getting held in that box for longer than you would expect. He's been in there for about, what, 15, 20 seconds now.
Yeah, I know Kieran said last night, Andy, that the soft tyres on... the soft tyre on the Mercedes is probably the better tyre choice. But will it last the distance? Maybe a tyre change then for Monkey Boy if that's the way he's gone.
Could have been, yeah. Maybe it was a couple of tyres instead of the full 4. But, yeah, he's definitely on his way. But the thing is, I would have thought, Matt, that if he was going to change his tyres... He wouldn't do it at the end of lap 9, he'd do it at the end of lap 6 or 7. That
you'd do it sort of halfway through, wouldn't you? That would make more sense than to get the best performance. Well, Monkey Boy then definitely got hold in the pits, but what for we don't know. Let's see then how that will affect Liam. That Bozzy Boy then leads this race 8 seconds from his teammate. We know he's still got to pit as that Bozzy Boy, but he ultimately has a 35-second lead over Monkey Boy. So a good pit stop for that Bozzy Boy and the Iron Brew Racing B team here, Andy, and they could be laughing at a 1-2 here. The first 1-2 for the second 1-2 of the season for the team. They had one back in Kota when that Bozzy Boy took the win and Rabbit Joe second place.
Yeah,
they had one at Indy Road Course as well, actually, looking at my screen, apologies.
Yeah, well, this time it's probably going to be tables turned, isn't it? Rabbit Joe looks likely to take the W and that Bozzy Boy P2. But
we've lost. Stovsloff's retired from the race. I don't know what lap Stovsloff got to there, but he's retired from the race. That's promoted Dean to P9. So 9 finishes in this one, 12 we started with. We've got 9 finishing in this one. But yeah, if he didn't get to lap 9, he will score no points in this one, Andy.
Yeah, it's desperately unlucky there for Stovsloff. I just want to come back to Liam and Rabbit Joe being the 2 teammates for Iron Brew B Racing. Those 2 are also, as Liam is into the pits right now, but these 2 are both candidates for promotion. They're going for those top 2, those second and third spots. Holty sat second in the championship. He's actually ineligible for a promotion as he will not be able to race in the Thursday Night Pro Series for next season. So these two are the ones in the box seat, and they're currently extending their gap over Kieran Argent and Smokey Devil in this championship. As it stands in this race, Smokey Devil sat in 4th place. However, his chances of going up will be ever so slightly compromised by the fact that his two main rivals for that final spot are currently ahead of him on track and look set for a 1-2.
Where is that Bozzy Boy? Is he out on track yet? We didn't see him leave the pits, or is Monkey Boy? Oh yeah, he's out. So he's jumped Monkey Boy, and he's jumped Monkey Boy by some margin here. So Monkey Boy definitely had a problem in the pits or changed tyres, because he's lost so much time. He was about 7 seconds in front of that Bozzy Boy coming into the pits, and it looks like that Bozzy Boy and Rabbit Joe here, the team working wonders. Rabbit Joe now has a 13-second lead over his teammate, which is about what it was when they all pitted. But the Iron Brew Racing B team having a stellar job in the pits, and at Forever Forward Racing, work to do in terms of race 2, that is for sure.
Absolutely, he's looking at a hell of a lot of time lost in that pit stop. We see a Mercedes there.
Yeah, Argent.
Kieran Argent there, and getting well out of the way.
No spoiler, so he looks like he's got bad damage. He's just come out of the pits as well, so he's really not having a good race. He could fall into DJ Phil and Dean Wasoki's hands maybe, but look at that Bozzy Boy. He's really getting close to the walls out there and starting to look like in this race, Andy, that he's really giving it some here.
He is, yeah, but he's a little bit too far behind Rabbit Joe, I think. Unless Rabbit Joe were to run into some kind of problem or have a bit of a skirmish, maybe a slight excursion out off the track, it's definitely going to be this man here. He's going to take the win in this race, driving that number 182 blue and white Mercedes. Sorry, Porsche. I'm so used to that being the Mercedes area. I wasn't even.
Now, how is Joe's nerves here? First ever race win in sim racing, full stop. How is his nerves going into these last 3 laps? He's got the final chicane here to navigate before starting lap 12. How's his nerves going into these final couple of laps? Well, there's his nerves! There's his nerves! He's hit the wall!
In the rear of that car, has taken a big old whack into the wall. What's his gap going to be to Liam? But crucially, how much damage has he got on the back of the car? I wouldn't imagine too much. He went into the wall at about maybe 20, 25, 30 miles an hour. I reckon he was going into the wall. So the damage should not be too bad. But any damage around this track can massively screw you over. It
can really hurt you. And I was just saying, how's his luck? And he's, Liam getting a bit squealy at the final corner. I was just saying, how's your luck? And he goes and does that. Talk about the curse of the commentator.
How about that then? So just as we start to talk about Rabbit Joe and him keeping his calmness, coolness and composure, it's all suddenly been thrown up in the air. But looking up through the first couple of corners, I think Liam might have made a mistake, because that gap's just gone from, it was 7.8, it's now, well, having said that, that's the Constantina effect, isn't it? End of the straights, they always go up and down. So I think the gap just under 8 seconds right now. Rabbit Joe looking in control, but he needs to make sure he doesn't make any more mistakes like that. One more little slip like that, and that's going to be it, I'm afraid. That's it. It's going to be curtains. You know,
he also needs to make sure...
He's had his little scare there. Yeah. If he gets it wrong again, then that's going to be game over.
He needs to make sure as well that if he has damage on that car, he's nursing it and nursing it. Oh, and he just touches the grass there. He's riding his luck a bit here, is Rabbit Joe. And I know you need luck to win races, but if he's got a bit of damage on the rear of that car, he's just got to nurse it home, and he's losing time, quite a bit of time, to Liam on this lap. And I know that'll balance itself out, but Rabbit Joe here doesn't look like he's got that Porsche where he had it 2 or 3 laps ago, which was in a comfortable position.
No, and he's lost confidence. The thing is, it's not just going to be the car underneath him, it's going to be his head. It's going to be playing all sorts of games with him now. Now that he's lost it once, it's not only the fact that he's got the damage on the car, but it's the fact that if he's made one mistake once, he could do it again. And that's definitely going to play on his mind, knowing that he's got that possibility of dropping the car once again. So he's definitely going to be taking it slightly more easily. But it looks like Liam isn't really capitalising, because
he took a bit of a whack on the front of that car. Look, the front left of that car. Yeah, it looks like he's had a bit of a hit there now. Is that front suspension damage for Liam? Rabbit Joe this time gets round where he struggled last time round, and Liam here,
very well, dude.
He doesn't want to over push. Second place is still good points for the team as well as for yourself. You don't want to overdrive the car. But Rabbit Joe made one mistake. Liam this lap looks like he's made a mistake. We've missed that one, unfortunately. Kieran Argent saying he can't get out of the pits. Well, he must be out now because his pit sign's gone off of my screen. Yeah, he's out driving now. So I'm not sure what that one was about then. He's just commented that on the stream. But he's out on track now.
Oh, Joe's lost it!
Oh,
He's
no!
got out straight out of the first corner!
Oh
What's
no, how
happened?
much damage has he got now? Did he hit anything? We didn't see
I
that.
don't think he did. I
Oh,
don't
Andy.
think he did. I think he just kept it out of the wall, but Liam is wide out of turn one as well.
Wow,
Liam's probably... Do you know what these guys are probably saying to each other on a party chat? Rabbit Joe's probably saying, oh, I've lost it, and Liam's probably putting his foot to the floor absolutely all out as he can go. And he's then gone and lost it out of the last corner, or not lost it, but put it onto the gravel. But a gap, now 6 seconds between these two.
How it ebbs and flows.
Again, I got one thing about Liam, is that he's obviously quick and he's got talent in these cars. But the lines that he takes, he's got to start using the track more.
And do you know something? Me and Mazda noticed this once at Kota and spoke to him about it. Says, "Oh, what was you doing? Do you know the back straight at the bottom of the circuit? He kind of took the 2 hairpins very tight on his racing line." And I says, "Was you defending? Was you looking to make a lunge up the inside?" He went, "Oh no, that's my racing line." And we're like, scratching our heads a little bit to think.
The thing is, it's not a criticism. At the end of the day, it's just something I'm observing.
Yeah.
The fact that he's able to go so quick, the way that he's driving it, is absolutely incredible. But there are little things like just little things about racing, about sim racing especially. Yeah, arcade racing games don't really matter, but when you're racing sim racing, you've got to imagine that you're taking the shortest possible or most what's the word, the most efficient route through every single corner. I just noticed he doesn't really maximise his entries, does he? He's
that's his problem.
All over the place.
He's in the middle, or he's very tight to the corner. He says, "Oh, that's how I take it." And I just kind of think, but if you was to take it wider and maximise your entry, you're carrying much more speed through the corner, and it's something that me and Mazda have both spoke to Liam about in the past, and obviously something he's got to learn.
Yeah, if he could be a bit more economical, then the sky's the limit for this kid, really and truly.
It really is. Rabbit Joe is now 7 seconds in the lead, but he's had his scares, and that Porsche clearly managing at the moment. And if you're... Oh, no, he's always say that! He's had another spin! He's had another spin! There's that Bozzy boy! Monkey Boy's in the background as well, so don't count him out of this if these two keep having problems. And Rabbit Joe here, we said how's your nerves, and that's 3 mistakes he's made now. Rabbit Joe has really got to make sure this final lap is consistent and clean, because he does not want another moment. Cautious he may have to be, but through the mountain section, that could do him the world of good. Liam Gamer, that Bozzy boy, whatever we call him nowadays, he's really going to be on the hunt of his teammate. He can see him, he can sniff him, and he's just got to get close enough. Is he going to settle for second place? Maybe, but another mistake or two to Rabbit Joe, and he's capable of them. We're seeing that, and Rabbit Joe could pay the ultimate price. That, to me, with the way he's lost that car 2 or 3 times now, would say that hit with the wall a couple of laps ago had his damage on that rear, and as he's just putting the power back down, it's just sending the rear round.
Yeah, it's dented his car, it's dented his confidence as well, but he's got the lead of the race and he's got it back up to 4.5 seconds again, so he's clearly got the pace through this first sector where it's mainly about straight line speed. This is the part of the track where I think Liam really needs to start trying to capitalise. You see how hesitant, but obviously with being these two are Porsche teammates, both driving for Iron Brew Racing B, but this is the part of the track where with a bit of damage it can really hurt Rabbit Joe. But look at this, the gap. Oh, it's Liam lost it. Liam's down to third.
He has.
Monkey Boy's in second. What's
he has,
to that
and he's
boy?
also got the rear spoiler. Holty's only 16 seconds behind him, so Liam Gaiman needs to manage that car back to the finish line because he's really got bad damage on the rear of that car. And Rabbit Joe here, he's all over the place in the corners. This could be Monkey Boys. I don't think it will be. Rabbit Joe looks like he's done enough to take his first win. And has that Bozzy boy just pushed too hard at the mountain section and just cost himself another race win of the season? Are we going to see Rabbit Joe take his first win? 13 seconds the gap to Holty. Rabbit Joe, though, for his first ever sim racing win. What's he got? The chicane left.
Yeah, here he comes.
So he's just got to make sure he gets round it. 6.4 is the gap to Monkey Boy. Look how hesitant he is around there. You can just see, the car twitching underneath him. And he's kept it in a straight line. But this is where he spanned last time around. 5.4 the gap to Monkey Boy. He should have this one done. Going to be a bit hesitant over this final corner. Listen to that. So patient on the throttle, but for the first time in sim racing, he's going to give it a big old flash of the lights, and Rabbit Joe is going to take his first ever race win here, and he's done it in great circumstances. Monkey Boy comes across and inherits a second place on that final lap, and for that Bozzy boy, his race isn't done. He's got 8 seconds to Holty, get it round the final corner. He does just that, and it's going to be a podium here. Joe in the chat, get in there, he says. Liam Gamer, that Bozzy boy will take a P3. Holty then, good comeback drive, Andy, for a P4 in the end of that one after a big shunt into the wall.
you've got to say honourable mention to Holty for the way he's persevered with that. And to be fair, Monkey Boy and Holty would have probably been 1-2 in this race if it hadn't been for Monkey Boy's pit stop or Holty's bit of a nightmare earlier on in the race. So well done to those guys for making their way back through. But the man of the moment has got to be Rabbit Joe. You say it's his first win in sim racing?
First race win in sim racing.
What fantastic.
Yeah.
Really big congratulations to him. We all know what that's like when we're on the verge of our first win. That explains the caution that he was driving with them last couple of laps. Yeah, because he was taking it really easy. You could hear him on and off the throttle constantly, and that explains it. But really, really big hats off to him. We all know what it's like when we're on the verge of our first win. He did it his way, Andy, as well. He got out in front of Holty on the first lap, and he didn't look back since then. Monkey Boy said in the chat he had a pit stop error. That's what cost him so much time. Smokey Devil is finished P5. Dan Francis has finished in P6. Kieran Argent a few laps down in P7 for him. So if he wanted promotion, it's hard for him now in P7. We lost Stove Sloth from the race. We've got to see if he did the full 9 laps to score points. DJ Phil will cross the line P8, I imagine. He's well in front of Dean Wasaki. In fact, 26 seconds. I don't quite know where they are on track. There's still 45 seconds on the countdown. Yeah, it's a little way. They will be crossing the line too, but I want to say a big congratulations to Rabbit Joe on his first sim racing win, because we all know what it's like when we're on the verge of that first win and we can see it slipping away at any second. I know for a fact mine was a similar situation. I was driving the Renault RSs, had a good mate of mine right on my tail for about 8 or 9 laps, and it was hairy stuff, but it's I know how he's feeling right now. It's a big relief when you get that first win out of the way, that is for sure. So congratulations to Rabbit Joe on that one. Monkey Boy and that Bozzy Boy completing the podium.
Indeed they did. Stove Sloth got to lap 7, so we'll score no points in that one, and Holty fastest lap of the race with a 2:09.0. So a 2:09 dead. Great pace from him there. We lost Cam before the race even started, and we lost Smithy as well in that one, who scored no points. We'll be right back after a quick break here. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll have a quick interview from the drivers, and I'm sure
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see. When your stars are burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been so scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it lies. I know I can't hide, 'cause then I'd be alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I'm enough. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love?
Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up and then I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Give it to me like I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Give it to me like I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up and then I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Give it to me like I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport for the second race of this evening here at Bathurst. I say evening, early morning here at Bathurst. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, it's qualifying 2 time, and I've got the top 3 in the commentary box. I'm going to start with third place, that Bozzy Boy, or Liam Gamer as you may know him for this season. Liam, you had it your own way up until that final lap. What happened, mate?
I slightly tapped wall, hit the wall. All I know, I hit the wall and I got rear damage 100. I lost my wing, but I'm happy that I've managed to come back with a podium.
Yeah, it was a good race for yourself. You got in front of Monkey Boy off the start. You kept him behind you for a while until you made a bit of a mistake and he managed to get alongside you. You then got back on the podium after Holty had made his mistake and Monkey Boy had a long pit stop and was running second for quite a while. Did you think at one stage that when you started to see Joe, the race win might be on?
No, I thought Joe had it in bag. As I'm going down the straights, I'm seeing he's gaining like a tenth or so, gradually, should I say, quite quickly, or whatever you want to say. He's gaining more time on me than what I'm able to gain on him, so he had it in the bag.
Talk us through that first race, mate. How was Bathurst for you from your perspective?
It was good until the last couple laps after my pit. Felt very slidey, tyres felt a bit cold as well, and so on.
Yeah, what's your plans for race 2? Obviously you can't qualify in this one. Where you're hoping to get, what you're hoping to achieve?
Top 3 again.
Top 3? Well, we wish you the best luck, mate. We'll let you get back to it.
Alright, thank you.
And we've got the champ in the party as well. He come away with a P2 on the very last lap, and wasn't all your own way for this race, Monkey Boy. You had to work hard for that second place.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. But yeah, first corner I thought was going to be hectic, but I think everybody got round it, and like, yeah, I just sort of sat there for a little bit and trying to work out where people were quicker and slower, and I knew the Porsches were going to be quick up in the mountain.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to work out where they're slow, and I noticed Liam was slow coming out the first corner.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just sort of sat there, and then he made a little mistake, I think, coming into it, which gave me an advantage to run up beside him.
Managed to get through.
Yeah, I'd say, but then come in the pits and had a pit stop error, and it was like, that's gone. And yeah, just obviously see Liam spinning on the last lap. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. What you had a mistake as well. You actually did. Coming up the top of the mountain, you went wide into the gravel not long after you got past Liam. Was the Mercedes nice at through the mountain section, or was it really all about its power down the straights after?
Yeah, it was very. I found it very twitchy.
Yeah.
I had to turn in early, if you know what I mean, to get it to turn in. But if I caught the curbs, it would sort of shoot it across, which it did. And I actually outbraked myself on the last chicane before the last corner. I don't know if you saw that. I had a trip across the grass.
No, didn't see that. We didn't see that.
Oh. So yeah, I sort of missed my braking point there as well, and I had a trip across the grass as well.
Well, what's your plans going forward into race 2, mate? Obviously, reverse grid, top 6, can't qualify. Plans from there?
Try and stay out of trouble. Just sit back, I think, for a lap and see what happens.
Well, we'll let you get to it, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was you going to say?
No, I just noticed there's a bit of rain coming, so I'm not looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Excuse me, we'll let you get back to it, buddy, and best luck for race 2.
Cheers, thank you.
As we just see Kieran Argent there ploughing to the side of the wall, and we're joined by first time race winner Rabbit Joe. You've took your first ever, not just race win here at Simplay Motorsport, but race win in general in this sim racing world. You've got to be absolutely chuffed with that.
Yeah, I'm completely amazed, especially seeing as it's on this track. I didn't expect it at all.
You've had a few unlucky races this year, Indy Road Course, Cota, you got 2 second places and just couldn't get over the line. It's not seemed to go your way this season, and I bet you didn't think the race win had come. It didn't look like it was going to go your way at the end of this race. A couple of spins here and there. Talk us through them.
Yeah, so throughout practice, the whole week I've been struggling where I span on this race. I just couldn't do it. Last minute setup changes today. So the first 3/4 of the race felt amazing throughout it all, and then I think I was struggling with tyre wear, which just sent my car around, so I just wanted to take.
So was that the same as what Liam was saying then? Did your tyres feel like Liam's did, that it was going cold and just started to lose grip?
Yeah, I think it's like the huge grip that the Porsche depends on throughout the race is just taking all the grip out of them, and I think I'd lose too much time in the pits and changing tyres potentially if I did do that. So I just decided to push it, and I made the mistakes, but on that last lap I was like, I don't want to spin, so I'm just going to crawl through these corners because I know I've got it if I do that.
How does it make you feel to know you've won not just your first race at Simplay, but obviously your first race in general is just to cut you off their clear, and then just travelling through the gravel really seems to be struggling at the minute. Yeah, how does you've won your first race? Me and Andy was obviously speaking about it off air that there's no greater feeling, and it does take time so long to achieve, and now you've achieved it. How does it feel that you've got there?
I'm ecstatic with myself. It's a huge confidence booster, and I'm amazed. I think every positive feeling and surprising feeling you can feel.
Well, what's your plans for race 2? You will start on the back of the grid in P12. Take your time and go forward, I imagine.
Yeah, I won't try and do what I did to Holty at the start. I think, but I'm just gonna take my time, take this as a push in the race, but don't push too much, and take it nicely.
Indeed, mate. Well, we'll let you get back to it. Congrats on the first race win. As we're seeing,
thank you.
Kieran Argent, Andy, come across line and improve to get to a 209.2. His first pole, is it his first pole position of the season? Let me just double check.
Well, if he's able to keep onto it as it is at the moment, it probably would be. But Kieran Argent, we saw him. Was a little bit in the walls in the first race, but so far he's managed to clock in a time which is only about 0.3 of a second off of the fastest time that we saw in the first qualifying session. Obviously, we saw, as he goes into the wall a little bit there, we saw Holty putting it on top spot in the first qualifying session, and Kieran Argent not actually too far off of that. He's definitely going to be distracting a few guys as he comes through there. He gets one out of the way eventually, as we saw DJ Phil coming up on the scene of the accident. But yeah, looks like Kieran Argent setting a benchmark here. It's very, very close to what we saw in the opening qualifying session. Obviously, guys like Rabbit Joe, Liam, Brother Monkey Boy, those guys not able to set a time in this session due to the top 6 don't qualify rule. So it's definitely going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works.
Interesting that Dean and Dean and Smithy aren't getting an extra lap in Argent as well. He's called it a day, so it's just Cam Stelsloff and DJ Phil to get times in with 1 minute 20 on the clock. Kieran Argent, this would be his second pole position of the season if he got this. And I'm just going to quickly tell you about a few changes in the drivers' standings. Daniel Francis moves 10 points clear of Don Productions and Aidan Bennett. DJ Phil's now 2 points off the top 10 at the moment, and Dean Wasaki's 12 points off the top 10. But as his teammate and Daniel Francis to compete with that battle in the midfield is really hotting up. For Smokey Devil, he's now 35 points off the back of Liam Gamer. Still possible with 78 points left in the title hunt, but Smokey Devil's job getting increasingly harder. And for Kieran Argent, he needs 19 points just to get on the back of Liam Gamer. He's not had it his own way. As there's 36 seconds left, DJ Phil might, sneak another lap in here. Coming out towards under the Madness Bridge.
It's interesting to see if DJ Phil can indeed eke out those 6 seconds required in order to take pole position away from Kieran Argent. It's going to be a bit of a stretch, but I wonder whether or not we'll be able to see that. He's got 2.
Oh, he's improved.
2 of them. Yeah. 2 of the 4 seconds required. 2 of the 6 seconds required have been found. But,
just him and Cam on the track as well here, Andy. So just the 2 McLarens we're waiting on. Here comes Cam down towards the chase. So 1 at the end, 1 at the beginning of their laps. And it is just now a wait on these 2. And Kieran here, he's got to be in the box seat for his first win here at Simplay Motorsport. He's not taken a win in 2 seasons yet. Surely confidence low after that first race, but looking at pole time, if DJ Phil and Cam can't beat him, confidence could be sky high knowing that he's in the box seat for race 2.
Indeed, yeah, it's definitely going to give you that confidence boost. And when you see that your pace is so much quicker at the moment over the other guys, then it can really make you feel like you're the man to beat. Now, obviously, he will have those guys. It's not like the guys who finished at the front in the first race aren't going to be there. They're still out on track, and they're still dangerous. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Their danger is certainly limited somewhat by the fact that they've got to clear these other guys first, and it's not the easiest tracks to overtake around. We know, especially the narrow nature of that top section, which is where a lot of the braking zones are.
Yeah.
It means that, and it's also easy to get caught up in accidents as well. Starting at the back of the grid, it's going to be so much more harder driving around this track because you're going to have guys in front of you inevitably making mistakes, and there's not really a whole lot of room for you to go if you do get caught up in incidents. So it's going to be extremely difficult for the guys at the back. If they do manage to get through unscathed with no damage, then it's going to be quite an impressive feat for these guys. That's all I got to say. I'll be very surprised if we don't see one of the big contenders with some pretty hefty damage after the first lap.
I agree with you there. Cam has finished and went up into P4. Oh, and DJ Phil comes into the chicane now as Cam is done, just waiting on DJ Phil. Bit of a twitch mid-corner there through the chicane. Can he find that 4.1 seconds he needs to take pole away? Would be his first pole of the season, or is Kieran Argent going to get his second pole position of the season? I said Holty needed 4 fastest laps to get on the same pace as Monkey Boy. Well, he got one of them in the last race, so it's now 9-6 in the way of Monkey Boy. DJ Phil flashing his lights. Did he improve any? Let's see. No, he didn't improve. No. So Argent takes his second pole position of the season from DJ Phil lining up on the front row of the grid. It'll be Smithy in P3 with Cam P4. Dean Wasocki will start in 5th with Stealthsoft 6th. And then the randomly generated guys, the game sort of sorts out those who can't qualify into order. Holty will start 7th. That Buzzy Boy will start 8th. Smokey Devil 9th with Monkey Boy P10. Daniel Francis 11th. And our race winner down in P12. So he has got a lot of work to do. But looking at him times, if you're Kieran Argent, 4.1 seconds quicker than DJ Phil, get a bit of a gap and take your time, because like you said, and the guys have got who coming from the back that are quicker have got a lot of work to do to not only clear them slower cars in front, but make sure they can make it through the mountain themselves as well.
For sure, yeah. Rabbit Joe's got a hell of a task on his hand, and so has Monkey Boy, to be fair. Holty is going to have it slightly easier. If he can have a couple of those positions sorted maybe before we get into the mountain section, then he might take the pressure off for himself a little bit. But having said that, he's not going to find it bliss-free, that is for sure. Kieran Argent's first open in this race, the pole sitter, is get a good start. The last thing he wants is to get out-dragged by DJ Phil coming up towards turn 1, because then he's going to find himself in a bit of a sandwich in the mid-pack, and that could be his race win over. But Kieran Argent needs to break away, needs to find himself with maybe a 4 or 5 second gap at the end of this first lap. That's how he's going to win this race. That is how we might be able to steal the march on Rabbit Joe, Monkey Boy, Smoky Devil, Liam. But
and another thing, Andy, it has gone very dark here at Bathurst. It has gone very, very cloudy here, and with rain forecast, maybe we could see a spot or two in this feature race, in the second race, should I say. Not sure what's going to happen though, weather-wise. Will the rain stay away? Will it hit? We're in the mountains, so you'd be more likely to get the rain. But it's going to be interesting strategy-wise as well.
Indeed, the rain is going to play a big part now. I wouldn't have imagined that anyone would be risking to start on the wet tyres. This isn't the kind of track where you can get away with driving on wet tyres in dry conditions. But for sure, it's going to be about making the right change at the right time, and with the fact that you can't pit at the same time as your teammate, it's going to be even more difficult. So here we go.
Here we go then, lights are on, drivers have their lights on as well, and it's away. Smithy gets a great start from P3, and Kieran boxes him in with DJ Phil, and now Smithy gets squeezed by Cam and touches the wall. Holty got a good start as well, and I think he clipped Stealthsoft there as Holty's wide. And the two teammates in the McLaren touch, and is that Buzzy Boy's been caught up in an incident? So is Monkey Boy, and the carnage that we spoke about. Holty started a bit of it, and it was all done there. But look at the two Pepsi Motorsport McLarens, DJ Phil and Dean Wasocki, second and third. They could have dreamed for a better start. Take your time, boys. Kieran as well, what a start from him.
DJ Phil went a little bit wide coming out of turn 1, and that I think caused Holty to do the exact same behind him, and then Holty got onto the gravel, ended up T-boning into the rest of the pack. He just caused a massive little crack in the whole pack, and he's down to the left place. But it looks like pretty much the top 3 have been separated from everybody else, and Kieran Argent has got his dream start to this race. This is exactly what he would have dreamed of. But when he waited for this race to get going, he'd have been sat in that 2-minute starting up screen thinking of this exact same scenario.
Oh, what's happened to DJ Phil?
Already. DJ Phil's falling back though, look at this.
Yeah, he must have made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped down the order as Daniel Francis hits the wall hard, trying to get past DJ Phil. That Buzzy Boy is up into P3 with a bit of damage to the front of his car. What the extent of it is, I don't know. As Rabbit Joe, our race winner, into the gravel, and Monkey Boy gets through. Joe gets back on track. Daniel Francis there, wow, that'll be a slow down penalty definitely there. and that was a rear wing
Absolutely.
of that Bozzy Boy's dropped off as well. He's dropped down to P6. So what's happened to Liam? Liam's had a bit of a mare as well.
Yeah, he looked like he made good progress in the first part of the lap, but now it's all going to pot. And Kieran Argent has got a 4-second lead already. We're not even at the end of the first lap yet. This has gone absolutely.
This is what you said, Andy, didn't you? You said a 4-5 second gap at the end of the first lap, and Kieran will be singing. You said that. You got that one absolutely spot on. And Kieran here has had the start.
Makes a nice change, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You're not normally correct with these things. Normally it's the polar opposite. But great shout. Dean Wysocki as well. Hats off to him. Not the race one he'd have wanted, but he's second place here at the moment and is well up the road from DJ Phil, his teammate. So far. Now then, with rain on the way, interesting who pits where. Do they pit? What are they going to do? Kieran though, 3.6 in the lead across the line, and that is the first lap he'd have absolutely dreamt of. DJ Phil has a bit of a gap back to Daniel Francis. Can he extend it? Let's wait and see as Daniel, Stovesoft, Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe all come through. And I tell you what, you wouldn't want to pit now for damage, would you? Because if you pitted now, and that Bozzy Boy has, and the rain on its way. Surely he's not going to put the wet tyre on here. Surely he's not.
Waste of a pit stop. No, you wouldn't think so. You can't see from this distance what tyres he's got on, but we'll be able to see when you get closer up to the camera.
He didn't come in with a rear wing, Andy, neither has Smokey Devil. So for Smokey Devil, a very similar situation for him. No rear wing on the back of that car. Have these guys been forced to pit because of the fact there's no wing on the back of the car? If so, that's cost them.
I love the way these cars stop in their box and their bumpers go from completely shredded
to brand new.
It's just like beautiful new bumper straight on the car. It's like they just had a new paint job or something.
It really is. Liam Gamer is now away from his pit stop, so big damage sorted. Liam is away. Cam, we've lost, so Cam will score no points in both races. What a shame for Cam, because he qualified P4 and looked quite good for his money, but no points for Cam in this one. Then we're down to 11 runners. Smokey Devil and Halty still in the pit, still ground to make, and for that Bozzy Boy he's got to make a lot of ground, especially if the rain does come. Oh, Andy, I'm sure I've just seen a few spots.
You know what, Matt, it's usually I'm the one who's trippy enough to spot this first, but I think you're absolutely bang on. I think I can see a couple of drops now. And indeed, yes, so that Bozzy Boy's had an absolute mare. You know what, Matt? Those two could have maybe grinned and bared it for another lap, and they would have. Yeah, well, not just him,
Smokey Devil and Halty as well, because they've both done the same thing here. Dear.
Or have either of these three put the wets on in confidence of knowing that the rain is coming?
If they've done that, then what a genius play that is, and that could just play out to be fantastic for them. Rabbit Joe has got himself at the minute up into P3. DJ Phil has dropped back to P6, and what a start for Rabbit Joe as he's on to lap 2. But he's 16 seconds off the leader. He's 10 seconds behind Dean Wysocki, is Rabbit Joe. So a lot of work to do. All these guys coming to the back end of their lap. DJ Phil looks like he's hit the wall hard. Now, is anybody going to be tempted to go into the pits? There's Joe Stovesoft and Monkey Boy all in a little gaggle there. DJ Phil's not tempted to pit. Is the Accord of Daniel Francis? No, doesn't look like he is either. So the rain's starting to fall, and no one yet pulling the trigger on the pit stop. Track is definitely not wet enough. And is this what Daniel Francis is doing? He's clearly got damage, but is he thinking, do you know what, I'm better off waiting for the track to be to get wet, and then I go in for my pit stop as well as a change of tyres?
Yeah, it could very well be. He just wants to do it all in one go and try and grin and bear it whilst it's lasting. But Daniel Francis falling off the leaders every single second that he stays out, and suffers with this front damage that he's got on the car. But having said that, it could be a short-term loss, long-term gain, because if he brings it into the pits and puts the wrong tyres on, then that's going to be pretty much race ruined for Daniel. So he needs to just keep his head in there, just suffer all of this while he can, just soak it all up, and bottle up this everything that he's feeling right now, and just keep going, because it will pay dividends in the end.
And for Daniel as well, he's just got himself into 9th place. He was already in the top 10, but has just jumped his teammate by 10 points, who's not here tonight. And he knows Dean Wysocki and DJ Phil are catching on the top 10 pack, so he's got to do that decision. And look who's back in the pit lane. He's only done another lap out, and that Bozzy... Oh, he's got major damage.
Also, I saw Smithy going into the wall by the Madness Bridge as well.
Smithy's crabbing. Did them two ever come in together? But Liam in the pits, big damage. But now, I suppose, is the time pit for big damage and get them wet tyres on, I suppose.
Yeah, as we see Smithy there going into the tyre barriers a little bit on his way into the pits. There is Smokey Devil coming round. He's obviously had a bit of a mare to the start of this race, but he's down out in P10. He's going to pick up positions on these two. I wonder if Smokey put wet tyres on.
We'll have to keep an eye on the pace as it will inevitably start to drop off the wetter this track gets. For Argent, though, only 7 seconds in front of Dean. He's not dropping him as quick as he'd have liked to. Halty there, a lap down already. And for Dean Wasocki, he's in Dreamland, 8 seconds up the road from Rabbit Joe. P2.
He's doing really well.
Yeah, we haven't seen him do this well since
it was
Snetterton when he took his race win. You joined me and Dan in the commentary box for that one. In the wet as well, you remember. Dean Wasocki
really well.
on the wheel, could he get a podium?
Unbelievably in that one. Yeah, he ended up finishing P1. He chased down NJ and Liam in the last few laps, and then Liam, bless him, his wheel came, I think his controller died coming into turn 1, wasn't it, or something?
No, it was Alfie. Alfie, I think. Smithy's pitted. Who else in the pits? Stealth Sloth, Monkey Boy, DJ Phil, Dan Francis. So Daniel in the pits at the end of lap 3, as is Stealth Sloth. Just trying to jot all these down so I don't miss them. Monkey Boy as well is in. Smithy's been in. Who else was in as well? Daniel Francis. Got that one done. And DJ Phil was the other guy also in the pit. So a lot of people in wet tyres. Surely Splash and Dash. DJ Phil and Daniel Francis here may be repairing damage. Monkey Boy, the real benefit at that. He was behind Stealth Sloth and he's now in front of him by quite a gap as they come out the pits then. And the rain really starting to fall. You see the spray coming up now. So has that Bozzy Boy, did he pit for damage again on lap 2? Was that the right time to then put the wet tyre on? Could we see him start to make a charge? He's 2 minutes down on the race leader. In fact, he's a lap down on the race leader and on his uncle, in fact, Uncle Dean. And I wouldn't be fighting Dean too hard, although he's going to. Oh, and they've touched!
No.
And that Bozzy Boy, big major damage. What has he done there?
Yeah, the front bumper's off. It looked like he lost a bit of the rear of his car as well. He's very lucky to still have a rear wing on that car.
He's round!
He's lost it! No, Liam's sizing wrong way there. And
not only that,
like
Dean Wasocki had a bit of a moment into the wall, and Dean's got no rear spoiler. That will be big rear damage. And has that Bozzy Boy just unsettled that McLaren?
I wonder maybe whether there's going to be a bit of a rift the next time their family get together.
Oh dear! And poor Dean.
I wouldn't like to be sat at the dinner table once COVID is all said and done. I wouldn't want to be sat at the dinner table.
I wouldn't want to be there as it's on a Sunday dinner. No, you're definitely right. If Liam has to pit, there'll be 3 pit stops in 3 laps. Smoky Devil didn't put the wet tyre on. Another was in the chat. Matt, are you mad? Why am I mad? Dan, please comment and let me know why I'm mad. Smoky Devil then, P8 has come back into the pits. Rain. Hey, Dan, it's the live forecast. It's not me doing it, mate. It's the live forecast. And I already know tomorrow's weather. As Kieran.
Matt sees a day that's all dry for 23 hours, and there's 1 hour at like 7 a.m. which is wet, and he goes, right, we're doing 7 a.m. wet, heavy rain, that's it, sorted.
It's hey, we've not had as many wet races this year at Simplay. It's not been the same. Smoky Devil into the pits. He's down to P9. We've had a retirement from the race, and that is Dean Wasocki has retired. Oh no, Dean, he was on for a good set of points here, and with the top 10 bearing down, he's retired. And I can only assume he could be a bit unhappy with his nephew for that one.
Honestly, that was a silly retirement there, because there was no need. He was still in a good position, you know. He was second place. It was more or less time to change to the wet tyres anyway. He would not have lost as much time. But
what a shame.
Thrown away the race.
He has thrown away the race. Kieran's gone full DeLorean mode here on my screen. He's not been yet dropped off the tracks.
He's all fours on mine.
Oh, he's floating on the stream. He'll be floating on the stream. Down to 10 runners and Dean. It's oh dear. What? And like you say, pitted for damage. He would have got that sorted, and he'd have been still scoring some good points. Rabbit Joe as well comes into the pits now to get his core looked at and changed onto the slick tyre. That Bozzy Boy though, that could be something that needs looking at by the stewards, I reckon, because he did barge his way through the leader of Dean Wasocki, and he's back up to P8, but he's got to get his head down in the rest of this race. What's his gap? Halty 17 seconds in front. Look how cautious he's being around here. Wow, he is.
Yeah, he's properly limited himself right now, isn't he? You can see the front part of that car still with damage, which needs to be sorted out, but he's trying to stick it out there as long as he can, isn't he, by the looks of it?
He really is. He does look like he doesn't want to make a third pit stop, that is for sure.
But he's put wets on by the looks of it, so he's got a bit more stability than those behind him would have had. But it's just not really the way that Liam would have wanted this race to go, with that heavy damage on the car.
Yeah,
he did just about cling onto the rear wing, but he's the sole Wasocki out there right now, isn't he? So he's definitely got a bit of pressure on his shoulder. His teammate Rabbit Joe, the race winner in race 1 earlier this evening, is currently sat in 6th. It looks like he's a long way off. I've got to say, it's either Kieran Argent or Monkey Boy for the win in this one, in my opinion. Stealth Sloth, though, honourable mention to him, currently sat in 3rd place, doing a good job.
Top job for him. We've not seen the best of Stealth Sloth this season like me and Andy did last season, and I think here Forever Forward could let Argent win that race, especially if he's in that battle for promotion here, Andy. That could be a tough job to do. Dean went to get why get it to the pit one. Welsh, I don't get your comment. Why get it to the pit? But okay.
One thing I want to raise actually with Kieran Argent, I know that the reason why he's racing in this Prime Series wasn't actually down to his finishing position last season, I believe.
It wasn't.
Right?
No, yeah.
He couldn't race on Thursdays.
Couldn't race on a Thursday night due to his work, but he's he's obviously then COVID'd it again. We're going to another lockdown. I think though he can get promoted from what he said. So, but he's not had it his own way this season, and that car is still floating on the track, and that is that Bozzy Boy in for a 3rd pit stop.
Yeah, he is. It looks like that Bozzy Boy has had that. He hasn't fixed his front damage though. Look. He's still got scratches on the back of that car as well. So
that's in it. Why is he pitted? Unless a drive-through?
I don't know. I don't know how much time he's lost. I think he was... Wait, what was he? He was 1 minute 40 behind. 1 minute 30. Maybe he has got him for a drive-through, you know? Because he hasn't... He's only lost about 15 seconds. Yeah,
he's not lost a lot there. Thunderstorms, you mad? There's no thunderstorms about, Dan. I can assure you of that one. Don't worry about that. There's no thunderstorms here. But yeah, very, very strange to see this. Dean retiring from a good place. I know he had that problem with Liam trying to unlap himself. But it's just gone wrong, and what a good start he had. Argent, though, has still got that good start you was on about, and 6 seconds up the road from his teammate. That team can play it quite cool. When Iron Brew Racing try and hang on for their constructors to try and claw back points back in the constructors title and do so in race 1, they're going backwards in race 2 because Forever Forward look like they're going to take a 1-2, and Kieran Argent doing everything he needs to take his first win of the season.
Yeah, he is. He's controlling this one right now, but Monkey Boy's going to try and change that. These two are 1-2, but having said that, though, I reckon with Monkey Boy having won the championship already, I think he might want to give Kieran Argent a good little boost. Obviously, Kieran's still in contention for the promotion spot, and as we know it, we are expecting that Kieran Argent should have an opportunity to take his spot in the Pro Series due to work no longer being an issue. So if Kieran can get himself in that top 3, he will move up to the Pro Series. I'm sure Monkey Boy's going to want to help his teammate out. You would expect.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Bring the rain. Looks like thunderstorm for tomorrow, says Sutty. I don't think there is a thunderstorm, Sutty. But Jamie Brazier might be a snowstorm. Why did I pick this track? Oh God, says Unorthodox. This was Unorthodox track selection for last year, and tracks will be picked at the end of this week. No live stream for the videos this year for season 3, but the tracks are being picked behind closed doors for this one due to a few problems ongoing from last weekend. Personal problems as well, that one is. So Argent here leads the race from Monkey Boy. Stealth Sloth P3. DJ Phil was 4th. He's now Daniel Francis up in P4. DJ Phil now 5th with Rabbit Joe P6. Holty 7th. Smoky Devil 8th. That Bozzy Boy Liam Gamer down in 9th. And we're not used to seeing him that far down. And he said to me off air, Andy, earlier, top 6 every race is a good consistent point scoring where he's got to make Kieran work for them points. Well, here he's not done it, and you may say the incident with Dean was more that Bozzy Boy's fault than Dean's, you'd say.
I would say so. If you've got to put blame on one of them, then it would have to be Liam's, and that's just simply down to the fact that he's a lap down in that situation. Anything else, and it's a racing incident. Yeah. But when you've got a car coming around, they put a lap on you, then it's one of those things in racing, isn't it? The lap car's got to be more cautious. The guy who's coming around is going to want to. It's just. I mean, we all know what it's like when you're coming around on a car that's a lap down. You just basically see them as for want of a better term, you basically see them as a mobile chicane, don't you? All you want to see is you basically just think, right, they're going to let me through. If they don't, and they're not very good. But like, obviously, Liam is a man who's quite a quick driver. To be fair to him, he's one of the big guns in this Pro-Am division. And I don't think he was in a mood to wave Dean by, especially the fact that his standing in the championship this season has been so much stronger than Dean's. He probably felt like he was more than his match and probably able to race him. But Dean has every right to be aggrieved. I'm sure Liam's going to be a little bit upset and probably he's going to regret having prevented Dean from taking a podium. And he's going to be upset as it is. But obviously lots of points is going to hurt him. He still drove a great race earlier on, didn't he? Though podium finish for Liam
Oh,
in
he
the
did.
first race.
Now that's interesting there. Argent's just moved out the way to let that Bozzy boy through. Is Liam that much quicker than Argent? Or has Argent had a mistake coming down the mountain? Because he just pulled over to the side and let that Bozzy boy through there. That was a strange one to see, Andy. Dan in the chat, anyone want to race the Porsche at Bathurst tomorrow? Lovely weather for the race, I've heard. Dan, you don't know the weather for the race yet. It might be be raining, it might not be.
Wait, how do we know? Where's the what time is it?
So it was 6 a.m, but obviously that time's passed in Australia now. It won't show you that weather on the forecast because it's not going to be 6 a.m. in Australia
sure
anymore.
Know what it was.
I know what it is. I had to write it down in my notebook this afternoon.
Everybody else knows.
Well, if they've checked the weather, I'm sure they'll know. But yeah, it's right. One of them.
What was the weather in Bathurst on 24th of March? Wait, there must be like past weather forecast. Here we go, past weather forecast. Alright. Sorry guys, I'm just going to try and find out what the weather is. I'm not going to tell anyone.
From 6, 7, 8 and 9 a.m. 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. Kieran not wanting to get involved in an incident. That may be the case, Welshie. May not want to get involved in an incident. That may be the way Kieran wants to drive this race. He's losing time hand over fist to his teammate. Was 3 seconds slower on the last lap. And Stealth Sloth here. Not as quick as Daniel Francis by 5 seconds last time around. Rabbit Joe 9 seconds quicker than Daniel Francis, and that is gaining. They're gaining on each other. Holty in the 2-minute 19, so under the 2-minute 20s in the McLaren. And Andy was right that the McLaren is the car looking like to be in at the moment. Good little battle that for 4th, 5th, and 6th on the circuit. Smokey Devil a long way back from these guys, from them guys, and Liam trying to gain on him. Now what has happened to Kieran? He's gone off the back of that Buzzy boy, Andy. He's made a mistake somewhere.
I think very possibly, yeah. It looks like it because he's dropped off a little bit, hasn't he? And as you say, he had waved him by a couple of laps ago, but now he's reassumed that. But I think Kieran and Monkey Boy are quite close, aren't they? Look at this, they are within 2.7 seconds. So yeah, maybe it's I don't know. Things could be starting to unravel for Kieran Argent a little bit now. He's led since the get-go. But Monkey Boy's had to make his way back through in this one. He's had to do this one the hard way, hasn't he? And he now finds himself 2.5 seconds behind. So, this could be, quite squeaky bum time for Kieran Argent.
Indeed, it could be. He's got to make sure he keeps his head here and keeps it focused, and doesn't make any mistakes that we saw Rabbit Joe making race 1, where he's got to just keep it consistent on the track. He's a bit slower than his teammate here, but Monkey Boy will want to will he want to take the race win championship wrapped up? He might want to make sure his teammate wins it, but if Kieran's being this cautious, Monkey Boy can't afford to be. Liam's going in the pits again. His race, as he's just got up into P8 and was catching Smokey Devil. This race has been absolutely terrible for Liam Gamer. And there is Monkey Boy, look, coming down the start straight. Argent is flying, you're right, Dan, he's in the DeLorean mode. DJ Phil will then go back up into P8, and for Monkey Boy here, Argent was sliding, and he's had a bit of a mistake. And for Argent here, he's really going to lose ground to his teammate now. How long do the team keep Argent in front? There's 5 laps left. Stealth Sloth will be coming here. How long do these guys stay like this without risking the race win?
They've got a reasonable buffer, but the thing is, right, from Monkey Boy's perspective, there's letting your teammate go on and take the win, and there's another thing actually stopping and waiting for him. Yeah. So, if Kieran Argent just keeps it clean and keeps it together, then I'm sure Monkey Boy will be happy to play rear gunner. But
Monkey Boy's backed off.
Monkey Boy, if another mistake like that, and Monkey Boy's just going to say, "Look, I'm sorry, but I can't hold around here longer. I've just got to go."
No, I completely agree with you.
There's one thing holding station; it's another thing stopping the car and literally waiting for your teammate to continue again. You just got to go along. If Kieran Argent makes another mistake, he's just going to drive off. But hopefully Kieran Argent doesn't make any more mistakes like that, and he takes the win, because honestly, he's a man who's, I don't think he's won this season, has he?
He's not won this season. He didn't win last season, and he's in the gravel now. And he's not won. He's not won here at Simplay. He's not won at Simplay. He definitely is feeling the nerves.
I can tell, because last week, actually, you know what? I remember now. We spoke last week at Imola after the Pro Series race 2. We had a little chat in the commentary box. The 3 of us. Well, actually, Imo guy was there as well. But we had a little chat, and I remember speaking to Kieran after we went off air, actually. and he told me that he has never won a race at Simplay.
No.
Which I was extremely surprised by, considering the amount of time that he's been racing at Simplay.
Yeah.
But it's true, he hasn't, and this could be the moment. Monkey Boy is clearly trying to give him every opportunity to take that first win. But how many more opportunities is he going to need?
Exactly, that's the question, isn't it? How much does Monkey Boy back off to let Argent go? He's in hover mode. That's one way to avoid the rain. Matt Neal would have crashed off ages ago. Yeah. I'm ignoring Matt Neal jokes. He's not racing anymore, so that career's done. So I'm ignoring them jokes now. Dan, they're old. We move on to the next guy. We've had a retirement. Smithy has retired from this race, and I don't think he got to lap 9 neither, so no points for Smithy in this one. So we're down to 9 runners yet again here.
Retirement.
No, Matt Neal isn't the only retirement this season. Has Kieran had another problem? Because Monkey Boy's gained 6/10 around that final corner. Yeah, Monkey Boy really here is playing it sensible, and Stovesoft's not gaining any, so I suppose there's nothing to lose. But like you say, how many times do you let Kieran stay in front before you end up driving past him? No disrespect to DJ Phil, but he's managed to stay behind these guys for quite a while now, and is still behind them because Kieran's making that many mistakes that they're not dropping DJ Phil like they normally would.
Kieran's gone jittery, hasn't he, at this point?
Yeah,
I think he's
nerves.
He's just on edge, yeah. I think he can sense his first win. It's just around the corner. The best thing to do in this situation is just sit back and relax. Make sure that you're not under any strain. Keep your arms and your legs straight. That's the best thing. That's the advice I got. Don't sit forward. Don't feel like you're under any pressure or tension. Make sure that you are completely at ease with the wheel. With still on the wheel, he is, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. The most best thing is just sit back, relax, keep your arms and your legs straight, and just focus on coordinating your car with your hands, and just chill out, and don't let it get to you too much. It's easier said than done, though. It really is.
It is indeed, and for Monkey Boy here, he's pressuring his teammate. Oh, DJ Phil bins it coming down over the hill, and that's going to help that Bozzy Boy. It looked like he hit a puddle and lost the rear, so that Bozzy Boy will be on his way to get that position. But for Argent here, he's really holding his teammate up here, and you can really tell that the difference in the speed between the two of them.
Yeah, you can. Stealth's a long way behind. These two should comfortably be clear.
Oh, Kieran's on the grass there.
Yeah, he is. His concentration is. I'm sure it's not from lack of concentration. It's probably just down to nerves, isn't it?
Yeah.
His jitteriness. His concentration is going to be to the max. Any suggestions of his concentration not being there would probably be completely unjust, because he's going to be his eyes are probably glued to that screen right now. It's just a case of he needs to
he touched the grass under the braking.
Deep, very deep,
and you see Monkey Boy in the background just slowing it up and letting it all happen and letting it all flow. But I tell you what, Kieran is getting a lot of luck here. He's lucky not to have. We saw Rabbit Joe have a few big spins. Oh, look at Puddle at the final corner. We saw Rabbit Joe have a few big spins in the first race towards the end of it, and look at Monkey Boy just cruising at this moment in time. They've got such a buffer to Stowsloth behind them that they don't need to put this pressure down anymore. They are cruising at the minute, and for Kieran's first win of not just this season but Simplay in the 2 seasons that we've had already, obviously I think took a 2nd place or a 3rd place at the Red Bull Ring in the Pro Group last year. But this is really, really harsh on Monkey Boy in one sense, but great for Kieran in the other, that the team are allowing them to play such a good team game.
Yeah, 100%. It's good that Monkey Boy is able to recognise that his teammate probably could do with this win a little bit more than he can, because he's already got this championship wrapped up. Kieran's still yet to take his first win. He's also in a promotion battle. If he can get himself in that top 3 in the standings, we've said this so many times, but if he can get himself in one of those 3 positions, then that's going to be him up to the Pro Series. And as we've recently heard, he will be able to take part in the Pro Series if he gains promotion. So he's got extra incentive here as Kieran Argent to win this race. But he needs to keep his head together, because this is currently a lot on the line right now. Not just the promotion spot, but also his first ever win, as we keep saying.
Indeed it is. Dean Rusaki in the chat, good racing everyone. Yeah, Dean, we could have seen you up there as well. If you'd have just pitted, but you didn't pit. Monkey Boy here really letting his teammate have the opportunity to take his first win, and like you say, Andy, he's got a gain on Liam, who's currently sat in that final promotion spot. Liam running in P9 and last at the moment, so it's really not looking the way that Liam would have wanted. 19 points is the gap. I think that gap will be a lot closer than that. Going into Rapuna Park next week, we'll be able to fill in on that one at the end of this race. That Buzzy Boy got 6 seconds to DJ Phil. I want to get past DJ Phil because you want to make up every points opportunity he can. And just looking,
points, wouldn't it?
yeah, just looking at the points here. So Liam will come away with 7 and Kieran 25. I know Kieran's not got the fastest lap because Holty's in the 2-minute 19s. He is flying out there. What a shame he's 38 seconds behind. But Kieran here will gain massive amount of points. Gain about 18 points. So it'll be a point. The gap difference between him and Liam. Every place Liam gets now from now to the end of the race will be beneficial. But he's only really going to get DJ Phil, lap 11 of 14. He's only really going to get, oh, Kieran a bit of steady on the throttle there. Do a Lewis, do a Seb. Andy curse him now, says Dan in the chat. Monkey Boy here is really... Oh no, I think he's already said that you've cursed him. Andy cursed him down. Nice one, Andy. Monkey Boy really sitting back and watching.
At this point, the only thing that can stop Kieran Argent from winning this race, and I'm not tempting fate here, this is just stating a fact. I'm really sorry, it's already come into my head. I just realised, I'm going to say it now, it's in my head. But the only thing that could stop him is crashing out.
It's himself. The thing that can stop him is him.
The only thing that can stop him is him totaling the car, because Monkey Boy is not going to pass him. We know that for sure. Monkey Boy, if Kieran spins, is just going to sit there and wait for him. I didn't think that it's possible for him to do that, but you can clearly see, just by the way he's going about it, that every time Kieran has a moment, he's just waiting for him to get it together.
Yeah, so steady. Kieran here. Kieran's drove better around here in the wet, maybe because he's got Monkey Boy behind him and 34 seconds gap to Holty, who's got up into P3 now. But either way, he's taking his time and he's looking calm and collected in the wet. And Kieran Argent then, no spray off his car as his wheels aren't even on the floor. What's Kieran going to do then? He's got 3 laps to go, or 2.5 laps to go here. That Buzzy Boy bearing down on DJ Phil. That gap's 5 seconds. As Kieran very, very steady. You hear him just pretty much letting the car roll downhill more than anything. He's not on that power at all.
Yeah, he doesn't need to push, does he? He knows that he's got his wingman behind him, and Holty now 30 seconds behind. These two have actually pulled out a bit of a gap to...
Holty's in the 2-minute 18s. Wow.
Holty is going very quickly, but I think that the laps are winding down and time is going to run out for him. I don't think Holty's in a position where he can capitalise unless one of these two or both of them have a simply monumental capitulation. But with 2.5 laps left to go, I don't think that's going to happen. We're coming up towards the chase for the 12th time here in this race, and it's Kieran Argent with his lights on full beam, letting everybody else know that he's intent on taking his first win. Obviously broad daylight now at Bathurst, but that's not stopping him from having his eyes firmly shone on the prize as he comes into the last corner. And with just over 2 laps left to go in this one, Monkey Boy looking like he's not one bit interested in taking this race win tonight.
No, he wants to make sure that it's his teammate's first ever win. Monkey Boy is faster than you. Can you confirm you understand the message, says Phil in the chat. I don't think the team are telling him this one. I think the team would love to see Kieran get his first win of the season. Great stream, says Xmart in the chat. Nice to see Xmart here. Yeah, thanks for the kind words as well. Me and Andy obviously appreciate everybody's words all the time. Holty's got that gap under 30 seconds. Not going to be done though. Lap 13 of 14, like you say, Kieran's got to really bin it for him to lose out. That Buzzy Boy's lost 2 seconds. For me, I'm watching Liam's times and I'm not seeing him gain on DJ Phil that much in front. He's pushing too hard for me in this one to make up what he lost earlier, if that makes any sense. As Holty, 30 seconds behind, really isn't going to catch these two unless they have a spin. How steady is Kieran taking this?
He is going overboard with how cautious he's being, honestly. But I understand the position he's in, and sometimes with these GT3 cars, especially in the wet, they're so unpredictable that you do actually have to drive like this. And I do understand why he's doing it. Don't get me wrong, it makes sense. But it's a little bit over the top. He can probably push a little bit more than this. He has got a bit of damage on the right hand side of the car. You can see that it shouldn't be costing him too much time. The bonnet, the rear wing, all of the bodywork seems to be in relatively good condition. But I suppose he just wants to make sure he can get this on the board, doesn't he? He doesn't want anything to get in his way.
He does, and he had a bit of a wiggle coming over the brow of the hill into the chicane at the top.
If Kieran Argent had a couple of wins to his name already, I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing a very different Kieran Argent. out front right now.
And I'm pretty sure we'd see a
one...
different Forever Forward Racing out front right now. I don't think it'd be this way around. Had Kieran got a few wins under his belt and the title be on sort of thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, you know, when you've got that opportunity to break your duck, it does kind of change your mentality, and it causes the nerves, that sort of tension to really build up. And Kieran has just got one more lap to go now. It's not long until he becomes a race winner here at Simplay, and we know Monkey Boy isn't going to go for it. We know that Monkey Boy is more than happy to bring it home in second place. We can see in the background there
look at
that DJ Phil is actually closing in on them. DJ Phil and Liam are both closing on these two out front. So that is how easy Kieran Argent is taking it. The fact that these two lap cars, DJ Phil and Liam, are actually making gains, and Liam's now right at the back of DJ Phil, looking to gain an extra point in these battle for promotion here. This will obviously hurt Kieran, but Kieran's not going to be focused on that. He's just going to be focused on getting it round ahead of Sloth, who is 30 seconds behind. It looks like
what's happened to Holty? Well. He's got no bonnet in that, and the engine obviously in the rear of that McLaren, because it's pretty empty at the front of it, and must have made a mistake somewhere. Lapping really well was Holty, but maybe just pushed too far. Can that MC Motorsport machine get on the podium? Not been on the podium much this year. We've not seen the best of Sloth like we did last season, as he's got one more lap to defend from Holty. DJ Phil defending from that Bozzy boy. Argent cruising out just in front, pit limiter on with the looks of things. Rabbit Joe, Smokey Devil and Daniel Francis have had quite a cool, calm and collected race, and look at this. Argent steady as you go. How's your nerves on the final lap, coming up over the brow of the hill?
Yeah, he hasn't got long to go now. 2 minutes 29 last time round from Kieran Argent. DJ Phil coming up behind him on a 2 minute 24. Look at this man. We always know DJ Phil goes well in the wet, and once again he's absolutely flying. He might even be able to hold off Liam Gamer.
Oh, no!
He's lost it!
No!
DJ Phil into the wall, and Liam is up into P8, and he loses his rear wing for good measure there. Or had he already lost it just before? I'm not sure.
I think he may have lost it, but you say DJ Phil goes well in the rain. Remember Monza last year? He took his first and second ever race win in the wet, did DJ Phil.
I remember that.
Two-time race winner.
I voted for in the Simplay
Monza is the one.
Calendar. So hopefully that one gets pulled out of the hat.
Oh, DJ Phil will be loving that if it is wet as well. But take nothing away from this drive, albeit a bit slower than normal. Kieran Argent looks like we're going to crown a brand new race winner at Simplay once again. We crowned Rabbit Joe in race 1. Looks like we're going to crown Kieran Argent in race 2. And Monkey Boy here will be pleased but frustrated at the same time, knowing that it could have been another race win to smash his total of points for the season. But Kieran Argent take nothing away from his teammate. He's going to cross the line for the steadiest race win you'll see in sim racing history here. He's got one corner to go.
After the race at Imola last week, he said that he hadn't won a race, and I think he's this is it, isn't it? This is the moment that Kieran Argent's been waiting for since he started here at Simplay. What a fantastic victory in race 2. Huge congratulations to Kieran as he crosses the line. Staff member here at Simplay, does the social media posts as well, and all of his hard work behind the scenes has now been rewarded with a victory on the main stage here at Simplay. Massive congratulations to him. Monkey Boy second. Holty's going to come
what's
around
happened
in
to
P3.
Sloth? He's dropped well off the back of Holty here. So Holty, going to get a P3 in the end of this one. So podium for Holty on a day that's not been great for himself. He's not been able to get what he wanted out of this, and he's struggled to get points. Race 1 didn't go his way. He had a bit of a spin at the top of the mountain. Race 2 struggled from the back of the grid, as we saw lap 1. He managed to go through a few people. Andy Kerr strikes again. Poor DJ Phil, says Dan in the chat. Well done, Argent. As Holty comes home for third. Stealth Sloth looks like he's going to take a P4
DJ Phil.
in this one. Well done, Kieran, says Dean. Stealth Sloth a P4, and Rabbit Joe a quiet P5. Not seen a lot from him or Smokey Devil in this race. Smokey Devil had his problems early doors, but he's going to come away with a 6th place. And if you're Kieran Argent, you're going to be absolutely over the moon with a final race win.
Yeah, Dan saying that Kieran Argent managed to beat the Andy curse in the YouTube comments section. So clearly Kieran Argent's had to overcome quite a lot of hardship tonight in order to take the race win. 2 minute 12 fastest. Look at that, Matt. His fastest was a 2 minute 12. But yeah, at the end he was doing 2:25s.
Wow, so that was obviously before the rain came, so he takes the race win and the fastest lap for good measure. Wow, driver of the day going to Monkey Boy. In the chat says Welshie and Sutty Apex. Andy, your driver of the day?
I've got to give it to Kieran Argent, taking his first win at Simplay. It's been a long time coming. Can't give it to anyone else. I know he got pole. I know he got the ride at the start, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of going with my heart rather than my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, it was. I'll have to give it to Monkey Boy. In fact, no, do you know what? I'm going to give Rabbit Joe. I think Rabbit Joe a 5th and a 1st. I think he's drove well for his first race win as well. And he had the nerves at the end, although he wasn't driving as slow as Kieran. He spanned 3 or 4 times. Monkey Boy, if you are listening to the stream, if you want to come back in and get Kieran in for a chat just before we go, we're live tomorrow night at 8 PM for the Pro Series. Hopefully a bit more of a full grid. Andy, you'll be taking part in that one. Are you looking forward to tomorrow night?
Depends if it's dry or wet. If it's dry, absolutely. If it's wet, then I might have to be ill for that one. I'm joking. I'm not. I'll definitely be there. Don't worry. I'm not going to chicken out, but I will be much more looking forward to it if it is dry.
Indeed, it should be some cracking drives. If it's wet, I don't know why Dan's saying I don't hope it's not wet, because Dan, bit of a wet weather specialist at the minute, took that great win at Imola last week. Join us as well for the final 2 rounds of the season in the Pro-Am at Rapuna Park in New Zealand next week. We look forward to seeing you all there. I don't think Monkey Boy's going to manage to get in here. So we're going to oh no, Monkey Boy has jumped in. So Monkey Boy, if you could bring Kieran and Holty in with you, please, and we'll get your views in just a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, join us live next week, Rapuna Park, the final race of the season around here. I'm just going to bring up the standings at the moment, as Kieran has closed the gap to Liam. It is down to 1 point, Andy, because he got that fastest lap. So Kieran and Liam for that final promotion spot is really heating up. Smoky Devil still mathematically in with a shout of that one. Daniel Francis cementing that top 10 place at the minute. Dean losing massive ground, whereas DJ Phil sneaks into 10th place, 5 points ahead of Aidan Bennett and Don Productions. So it should be a cracking drive there.
Got back ahead of Liam at the end.
Did he? Oh wow!
Yeah, he got back up into 8th. So Liam came 9th. Liam's behind.
Oh, so then that means. So that means then I've inputted them wrong. That means then that Liam is actually tied on points for that final promotion spot with Kieran. So Kieran has done an even better job tonight. DJ Phil now 6 points ahead. Ahead of the top 10 in P11, and we've got Holty in. We're going to start with Holty. Holty, P3 for you in a difficult night.
Yeah, very difficult. Obviously, I don't know really what happened at the start. Made a few places up, and then I was looking back on replay. Just got too much damage, and it was a long way back to the pits then.
You had pace, tough qualifying with Rabbit Joe in race 1, only 7 thousandths separating you, but you managed to sneak it at the end in that one, and a good race 1 until you made a mistake at the top of the mountain.
Yes, just McLaren, because I run it full of fuel. It just doesn't like being that heavy. It's obviously braking and stopping it, and it twitches the back end. And then race 2, I lost it at the top of the mountain after taking over Stealth Sloth, and then I caught him into the first corner, and then he spun and stopped, and I just stopped in time and went into the side of him. So we both had damage, and I think that's why he dropped off from me then.
Well, best luck for next week, mate. Wish you the best luck. Monkey Boy, final words from you. P2 and a P1. Clearly had the pace for P1, I'm not going to lie. Team orders clearly came into play for that one.
Yeah, well, I don't need the wins. Obviously, the championship is done. So
yeah.
Kieran's been he's been on the pace, but yeah, been unfortunate. So I'll let him have it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Good night for yourself. 2 second places, obviously championship already cemented. That's the constructors as well, one for you boys with that one too. So another championship in 2 weeks for yourself.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good to hear. So yeah, no, can't complain. It's been a good year. Kieran's been a bit unfortunate with accidents and whatnot, but yeah, it's been good.
Well, best luck. We look forward to seeing you at Rapuna Park as well next week. And Kieran, you said to Andy last week about you've not had a race win. You said to me the other week, it's never going to come. I'm never going to get the race win. I'm going to be the Nico Hulkenberg of Simplay Motorsport. You've done it. You've got that race win.
Yeah, not the circumstance I would want to take it, obviously letting my teammates stand behind me, but obviously with the 30-second gap we had behind, we had no reason to push or fight each other, if it makes sense. So
yeah. How does that feel though to finally get your first win?
The weight off my shoulders, and obviously going into next week, level 1 points for the last promotion spot. It's going to be head to head.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Difficult first race for yourself. Did you think? I saw your comment in the chat. This could be my drop score tonight. I bet you didn't expect that in race 2, did you? Especially with the weather.
I would say, looking at the track this season, I definitely wouldn't have said this would be where I take the win. Probably looking more like Algarve or maybe even like other tracks that were done before, but definitely not here. Obviously, I didn't think with Smoky Devil on lap 1.
Yeah.
He sort of lost the rear, it looked like, on my screen, and he'd come across and nowhere but wall. And then obviously 2 pit stops in 2 laps, which didn't help. So
yeah, difficult one for yourself. Indeed. Look forward to seeing you on track at Rapuna next week. See what you can do around there. Andy, just a final comment for yourself. Jamie Prazy has just put in the chat, for just £2 a month you can save these poor souls from the Andy curse of commentary. And then Dan saying, come on guys, let's help these poor souls, let's do what we can do.
Well, I want to know first of all what this money's actually going towards. What are they raising?
I don't know what they're
raising. To pay for another commentator, or
I don't know. The Andy curse.
Explain that one, guys. When you set up a GoFundMe, guys, you've actually got to be quite clear about where the money's going. You can't just put it all in your own pockets, you know. Come on, guys, where's it going?
The Andy Curse will be on track tomorrow night, and he'll be back with me in the commentary box hopefully next Wednesday for the final 2 rounds of the Pro-Am season. That's all we've got time for. Monkey Boy, your driver.
Also, if you donate, you will receive some fluffy dye.
Is that who said that, Dan? Oh, brilliant. That is all we've got time for, though. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at 8 PM for Bathurst in the Pro Series. We'll join you back for the Pro-Am next Wednesday night at Rapuna Park for the final 2 rounds of the season. From all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, guys, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night. See ya.
I'm just calling to say I